me feat today.
No, please stop. Please, for the love of God, stop right there, sir. Jeez,
I think
Louise.
that's one of the few things that can actually get him Twitch banned.
Yeah, let's just
No,
not.
I can talk about it,
Nope,
just
let's
can't
just
show my
not.
feet.
Nope, we're recording. We're done. We're done. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I am Omar
I've got a
Creed.
great deal on the
No,
only
stop,
feat today.
Rev. I am doing the intro now. Well, that was a very chaotic introduction to Rogue Trader. No, I still did it wrong. Warhammer 40,000, Rogue Trader, Tithes of Acheron, Segmentum 3rd, Episode 1. My episodes don't have titles, but the Segmentum did, and I skipped right over that in my notes. This is Segmentum 3, the Orks of Videmar. I am joined by my usual cast of crazies, Rev, Darius, Alturios, and Warner. Let's take a moment, check in with them, see what's new and exciting, and then we'll get into, I don't know, maybe we'll kill some orcs, maybe the orcs will kill us, who knows? Rev, you have been banned from a wide variety of word selection, so please remember that when you begin your treatise on whatever it is.
So I can't say feet.
No, please don't say feet or taint.
Moist.
Moist is
I
okay.
say
Just
moist tainted
listen,
feet?
it's okay if other people say it. We just don't want Rev to say it.
Look, just hear me out. Moist tainted feet, all right?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I've never had my skin shrivel up so fast. That sounded even worse. Wow.
Oh my.
Okay, let's
Talk
move
to me
on.
about your
Let's
skin
move
shriveling.
on.
That is what she said.
Oh boy. Darius, what's new and exciting for you?
Hey, hold on now.
All right, you got
Looks like Rev gave up his plot.
well, it was taken away.
I was gonna say I think he's done speaking for the night.
Rev, quickly, Rev, you got 4 seconds.
Well, I mean, I'm fresh back off from a quick trip to Austin over Memorial Day, but I don't have too much else going on.
Okay. All right, Darius, let's return to you. Hopefully, you can inject some sanity into this facade of, I don't know what this facade is. It's not brick, I know that.
Well, I haven't had anything really special going on. I didn't make any trips or anything. I have another con coming up.
Oh my.
Origins.
No, not
Sorry.
that kind of con.
Yeah. Origins.
I feel like I've heard of that one before. I don't know what it is.
It is a massive game convention.
Okay. Oh, excuse me.
And I will be working with, I know we're doing a Warhammer 40K thing, but I will be working with Catalyst Game Labs.
Nice.
And hopefully doing a Time of War RPG.
That would be pretty cool. You know what would be really cool, because I'm half sleepy right now and I have dumb ideas. Like, this is the worst time for me to have dumb ideas. I want a company of battle mechs and a regiment of the Imperial Guard to just go at it and see who wins.
The question is,
What kind
what
of Imperial
rule
Guard
system
regiment?
I was gonna
are
say,
you
how many
using
Imperial
to
Guard?
adjudicate this
Yeah.
combat? Because if you're using BattleTech rules, all I need is a couple flamers.
Yes, this is true. Flamers,
Exactly.
If we're
flamers,
using
machine guns,
Warhammer
small
rules,
lasers.
all I need is a couple flamers. So
Yes, also true, because if I'm not mistaken, in the 40K rules, flamers auto hit. It's the number of people they hit, if I remember right.
Yeah, but you're talking about mechs. Infantry flamers barely do a dent in their armor.
So what I'm hearing
mech
is there is
flamers
a
barely
chance.
do a dent in mech armor.
Listen, all I know is if I throw a bunch of Krieg Death Corps at you, you might be changing your pants before you fix your armor.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, if las guns in the 40K universe take chunks out of concrete, they would be taking. They're almost as powerful as some of the mech lasers.
Yeah, I would
Small
imagine,
laser.
range notwithstanding, they would probably have the same damage profile as a small laser. Maybe even a medium.
Maybe.
Maybe. Alright, that's enough crazy
Intersphere
ideas
medium.
for that. Alturios, what's new and exciting for you? Or are you AFK because I saw you just went mute For a second there.
No, I'm still here.
Oh.
I'm wondering
I
what.
like how you said that with like, no, I'm still here. I wish
No, I haven't died yet.
Yeah, Jesus.
I am wondering when GW is going to find your little stream and try to
Trying to sue me?
try to sue you.
All I can say is I am using your material. I'm using your rules with my content, so you can't. Now that I said that, I'm definitely going to be visited.
They went after a BattleTech like
Yeah, I
like,
heard.
creator just because Warhammer was in his fucking shop name.
Yeah, the word Warhammer.
Yes. It was spurious, and he, with legal assistance, got dismissed from the case.
That's ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. Now,
Because the Warhammer mech has nothing to do with 40K,
Oh,
and
doesn't
you
it?
can't copyright the term Warhammer because that was the thing before the game.
It was a thing long, long ago in a dusty field far, far away.
Oh, quick
Yep.
quick note.
Bonk.
Just as kind of a like, hey, has everybody heard about Alcat's new 40K game coming out?
I did hear something about it. Dark Heresy, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious to
Cool.
see what they're going to do with that. I still got to finish the first part of Rogue Trader. The most I ever did was I watched the sun get swallowed up. Spoilers, by the way. I think that was roughly as far as I got in that game.
If you haven't played it by now, it's on you.
No, there's no disagreement there.
No, I mean to anyone who would be hearing spoilers.
Oh, well, fair. Alturios, I kind of grandstanded it away from you. Please continue. He's muted. There he
That
is.
was about it.
Was
Like,
it?
There's nothing really going on. I'm just
I love how his contribution to our conversation is, I wonder how long it'll be until you're sued by GW.
just I'm not really up to much.
Okay. Are you good? Everything good?
Yeah.
Stuff-
Just distracted doing homework.
I was gonna say
Gotcha.
studies going all right.
Huh?
Are the studies going all right?
Yeah.
All right, well, Warner, we're back to you again. Here we are.
Over the weekend, I took my family on a day trip to the St. Louis Zoo. Had a lovely time. My
That sounds
older
interesting.
kids are right in the age where zoo trips are pretty fun, and my youngest, it's her first trip to a major zoo, so she was bouncing up and down and all sorts of excited.
That's awesome. I do love seeing when kids get excited about things. And watching their interests change over time or develop more fully. One of my things is my 11-year-old. Now he's 11. Like 3 or 4 years ago, he got into Naruto and some other similar stories or what have you. And I have no interest whatsoever in anything anime related. Now, I say that knowing that puts a bullseye on me somehow. Because it sounds a lot like I hate anime. I don't hate it. I just have no interest in it. That said, I respect what a lot of the creators have done putting those sorts of projects together. Like there's definitely work there, and I recognize that. I have no interest in any of this. So whenever my kid's talking to me about Naruto and all the other stuff, and I'm just sitting there going, yep, that's awesome. I kind of don't care, but it's my kid and he's super excited, so I can't shut him down like this. I need to let this flourish. I need to encourage this. But I don't like any of this anime stuff. Anyway, it is fun to watch kids discover their interests and explore them. And the zoo is
It truly is.
And the zoo is a
I'm-
wonderful place to see that.
I think I mentioned my concerns with Naruto once before, but that's there was when I was attending a community college, there was a Naruto fan club that was using one of the buildings because it is a community college. They reserved one of the space after normal class hours.
Mhm.
And as I was leaving, I would be watching this parade of people with extra chromosomes and headbands filing into the building, and that was my first exposure to Naruto.
I don't know what was worse, the extra chromosome content or the Naruto. I'm sorry. I'm picking on you, Rev. I should probably not. I'm going to, but I probably shouldn't.
Just don't pick on them. It's kind of bad.
No. Listen, here's the thing. Like, we all like what we like, right? And generally speaking, as long as it isn't some of the very, very nasty things that we're not going to talk about, so don't bring it up, like what you want. We all know what I'm talking about when I say don't talk about it. So, anyway, let's get started. Also, Hachin, I'm not ignoring you. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for your comments. I don't know what the paying for a wedding comment in specific is about, other than the fact that you're paying for a wedding, and I'm sorry. But also, good luck.
Generally, when one pays for the wedding, it means their daughter is being married.
That's usually what that means, so
Usually.
yes. But let's go ahead and get started with our game. Oh, excuse me. Previously, on Tithes of Acheron, it was of Crowns and Scepters, and now it is Tithes of Acheron, the Orks of Videmar.
Orcs, 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 orcs.
Our
orcs.
explorers and Lord Captain Brogadillo Van Breeze Gisbath in particular have met with the Oracle of the Void, who some call the Hildemos Oracle. Following disturbing imagery and a tide of non-answers, the Acheron's ferry and escort ship set out for Videmar to assess and address the situation there. Following a short trip through the warp, they have arrived in the Videmar system, and shortly after maneuvering down the gravity well, have encountered their first bit of resistance to Ork onslaught raiding ships. Gentlemen, it's time to roll initiative.
Initiative?
Yes. You have
I
close
forget
to
for this
engagement.
ship.
Unless you're going to have a conversation with the Ork ships, which I just don't see happening.
It's less of a conversation, more of a stream of invectives.
Stream of invectives and lots and lots of bullets.
I will
and
be honest.
Casual racism.
I will be honest. If Warner did not have a passionate hatred for orcs, I probably would attempt charm and direct him that there's bigger loot and bigger crumpin to be had elsewhere, and then direct them towards my enemies.
That would be an interesting thing to see happen. But no, they are absolutely gunning for you. Some of your initial scans indicate that they are doing the Orc equivalent of running out the guns.
Big crumpin.
So, roll initiative. Each ship rolls initiative. 1d10 plus the tens digit of their ship's detection score. I will point out, let me switch this over so people can see the board here. I will point out, over here, we have both the Acheron's Ferry ship card and a copy of the Acheron's ship ferry, but hastily taped the word Paralos on top of, because even though it's a slightly smaller ship, it more or less has the same stats. I don't remember. I didn't set it up appropriately, so I'm just going to roll with it. It was a Wolfpack
Okay.
Raider. I remember that, but I forgot to set
Yeah.
that up during prep. But it did. I do remember, if nothing else, it had the same guns, because the Wolfpack Raider can carry some of the same armament options. So, we'll go with that. And then, of course, we have our two Onslaught Raiders over here, and your two ships are starting over here. So 1d10 plus the tens digit of the detection stat, which is on your ship cards. I will roll my two 1d10s for my two knuckle necks. No, I'm not the
Protection.
ones.
I am trying to see
Five.
it's difficult for me to see those sheets.
Yeah, unfortunately, you will have to zoom in because I took screenshots of PDFs. Let's call this.
No,
one.
I just mean like maneuvering my
Protection's
camera.
plus
to-
15 and plus 15, so that makes it
Okay.
easy. So roll a d10, add 15.
No, add the tens digit.
Add the tens digit, so
Correct.
add 1.
So, and
So
then
So
while you guys
1d10
are,
plus 1.
All right, I will roll the first one.
Okay.
Behold, 8 plus 1 is 9, when last I did very elementary math.
Okay. So that's let that be for our ship. And then what I was actually planning on doing was having us in because I was actually thinking the Raider was going to be smaller, and I actually remembered the weapons that were on the Raider, which was one bow mounted weapon and one and then the it had bow and dorsal. So, but if we're going to give it 2 dorsal mounted,
What did
might
that?
as well have it.
Sorry, what was the Acheron's Furious roll? A 9?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does everybody think about having essentially the since we're going to be doing maneuver warfare and trying to keep them at arm's length, what do we think about having the Paralos essentially come to what would be our ecliptic north, meaning directly above or below, and mirror our ship. Essentially a
You
horizontal
don't want it
parallel.
just screening so that it's a meat shield in case they launch stuff.
If they launch stuff, I'm perfectly happy to fight it myself.
If you guys want to take a moment and do some like planning,
Raiding party.
But I'm asking.
go ahead
I'm
and
asking
move
the
these
group-
guys around to, if you want to do like demonstrate what you're talking about. Well, that sucks. You can't stack it, really? Or did you miss the? There you go.
There it is.
There you go. All right, sorry, Rev. You were trying to say something, and I kind of got in the way there.
Well, I was asking, does anyone have an alternate proposal for a plan of maneuver?
I think
No, that seems
Alterios
good.
said the alternate was to send the Paralos out as a screen.
Right, but I also like my character's command style is not to treat anything that belongs to him as expendable.
Fair enough.
Are you, to be clear with what you
Just
had
for
just
the
said,
fact that if this shit blows up, you're dead.
did you
What's
just?
that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me.
What was that, Alterios?
It's just more the fact that if that regardless of how you lead, one ship is vastly more important than the other as far as whether it gets damaged and blown up.
Wait, true.
Right, but
Oh, it's just something
so
to think about.
from a command perspective, the rogue trader is considering how long will additional vessels that he commandeers stay loyal once they found out that, oh yeah, he had this group join him, and the first major engagement they got in after that, he got them blown up.
Because he used them as a meat shield.
Right.
I see where you're going with
Yeah.
this now. Perhaps you need to spend some
if
loyalty
my-
time with your
So
subordinates.
above the table,
Uh-huh.
my character is thinking that if he's going to grow his domain and increase the reach of the empire, the only way he's getting new men and new ships is from what's out here. He's not exactly having new worlds conscripted and new ships manufactured.
Right.
So he has to win loyalty, not build it.
Right.
Not just add to.
Well, yeah, you have to win it, and then you have to solidify once you have it, or consolidate, or improve it. As you guys are continuing whatever planning you want to do, I believe I have initiative numbers for everything except the Paralos.
Okay, I guess I'll roll for the Paralos.
There's a 5 for the Paralos, unless somebody wants to. There's a 7. That's even better for the Paralos. Okay. All right, so that means. Here we go. Yeah, there's our order. I almost said orkter. I don't know why. Are we ready to begin, or do you guys need a few more minutes to try to strategize and whatnot?
Now, are these orky ships, or are these like commandeered other?
Those two-piece ships that you just moved off the table were the good ships. These over here were the play-around ships. Just for the record, these are Orky ships.
Okay.
Alturios, I feel like you're gonna hurt yourself if you keep doing this. Just hold on. Let's see, something.
So why does it matter which ones are the real ones and which ones
Because
are player?
the play ones got stacked on top of each other, and I like the way it looks, and I don't want it to.
Okay.
Listen, I'm being facetious mostly.
I was just thinking you could pick up the one on the bottom and just move the two together.
You could, unless I turned that off. But at any rate, yes, these are Orky ships. They definitely read as Orc Tech, which I know how dumb that sounds, but I know everybody at this table should understand what that means.
It means if they stop thinking about it, the whole ship stops moving and starts
It
linking
just
wherever-
might.
If
Also,
they
things.
stop believing.
Also, it looks like things are held together by duct tape and best wishes. In a very literal sense, in fact, because they're orcs, and that's how their psyche works.
Do you have a willpower roll set up for them? If I can trick them into thinking their ship is being blown up.
You don't have to check them to shoot up their shit. I do have orc stats for willpower and other shit, if you really want to play that game as well. Unfortunately, their willpower is pretty shitty, so... let's... Go ahead.
Hypothetically, Omar,
Uh-huh.
I get a solid hit. I radio over,
Uh-huh.
and I tell them that their reactor is going critical, and their ship is about to blow up. It's been nice knowing them.
The immediate response is you'll hear some boss in the back go, "No, it's not! Get back to work!" And possibly the sounds of a bigger orc beating a smaller orc into submission.
Except I would be speaking to the bigger orc, and I have a fairly high deception.
At any rate, these ships are going to shoot each other now.
So you're not going to let me do that. Okay, fair.
I mean, I can see the logic in it, but I also can see much chicanery in it. So, I'm going to take this. I'm going to scale it.
Chicanery is the actual...
I don't know if it's the right definition for the word I wanted to use, but it works. Yep, there we go. I have done it. I have stacked ships. Don't you do it, Alturios. Get that off of there. That's not where that goes. Alright, we've rolled initiative. I believe Acheron's Ferry is up first. As you guys may or may not recall, I have the notes. And yeah, I
was
have
like, do we have a hex grid here at all?
We do not. Use the ruler.
Use a ruler. Come on, this is Warhammer.
Make sure it's set for inches. You move. So when you move your ships, you move either the full range. Let me rephrase that. When you move your ships, okay. You know what? I'm fucking this up because I'm trying to go off memory instead of looking at my notes. So, short list version of the space combat turn process. One turn represents approximately 30 minutes of real time. Initiative, we did that following the initiative order. Each ship takes its turn during the strategic turn, or the 30-minute turn, whatever you want to call it. Each ship can make a move action and a shooting action, and each ship can also do extended actions. Move actions have a variety of options. If you look beginning on the PDF page 213, it will have a bunch of options for movement, and then it'll have some options for firing, and it'll also have extended actions that you can peruse and figure out what you want to do. Your standard move action has the ship moving forward in a straight line, a distance equal to its move value in inches, or 1/2 of its move value in inches. And once it has finished moving, it then turns either 90 degrees, up to 90 degrees for smaller ships and 45 for larger ships. So the Paralos, your Acheron's Ferry is a sword class frigate. Am I not wrong?
How do I'm trying to erase that and it's not erasing.
Let's see. Blue line is you that you're trying to erase?
I think I think
Yeah,
I
you
may
have to
found-
do. You got to hit the line, not the erase button.
Yep.
Yes, that's right. Your frigate is, or your
Or
ship is a
class
frigate.
frigate.
Yep. So frigates and smaller, when they do their turns, they can turn up to 90 degrees at a single turn. If you've moved half your distance and then turned, then you move the remainder of your distance.
Mm-hmm.
But you always have to move the full distance in your turn, other than doing some of those special move actions that are listed. Because there's ones where you can like squirt ahead faster, do a like a U-turn. There's a come to a
With
new
all the
heading.
complaints of tainted and everything else,
Yeah, I
couldn't you
know.
think of the term accelerate?
Yeah, I couldn't. Squirt was one syllable. That's all I could say. Anyway, that's the gist of the movement.
Yeah, word's good.
Yep. In the shooting phase, each weapon component is fired once per turn. All weapons are fired at once, but can be fired at different targets. The strength stat is the maximum number of hits a weapon can achieve, similar to like your rate of fire for individual weapons.
The
Damage
range is 9 inches, I'm assuming.
for
the
your
9
weapon,
is
yes. It's you can fire up to twice that distance. Range. This is the range of the
Then-
weapon. Weapons cannot be fired at targets that are more than double the range listed.
Well, their weapons are going to be even shorter range than ours, so we're still way apart.
Yes.
Okay. She didn't have it set to centimeters. Okay.
That would take even longer.
So, and
So-
this is to be adjusted. This is me laying out the plan to the command staff. Orks charge straight in. They're going to be making a. Sorry, forgive. That's not a straight line.
I can do a straight line.
I can do a straight line too. Hold on.
You can do.
Yeah, I just switched over. So the
There you go.
orcs are basically go straight. Maneuver warfare is not exactly something orcs are known for. We'll be lucky if they don't run into us.
or each other for that matter.
I can confirm that ramming is indeed one of their preferred tactics. Also, it allows them to pour onto the vessel like a little green wave of ugh.
How do I change the color of my line?
If you hit F2, and then near the end of the options that pop up, when you hit F2, it will show that little colored spot that you can change
So
the color.
I can change it. I change it actually from the pencil, not from the line. Okay, that's
Yeah.
weird. All right. All right. So I don't know that changed it, but we'll see.
Well, the line that's on the table will probably stay that same color, but any further
No, no.
lines you draw.
I understand. So what we're gonna do is we're not gonna quite cross the T, but we're going to cut an angle across what would be their straight line. That's the ruler, not the line. My bad. Cut an angle across. Basically, depending on how fast they're accelerating, and then before they get within firing range, turn essentially what was a straight line into the beginning of a question mark, so that we're basically, as they're accelerating forward, it's going to be harder for them to turn, and we're going to want to basically sort of corral around them. Hopefully we can, just with multiple shots from both ships, because here again, their guns are either all going to be side mounted or front mounted, if I know it works, and try to disable one basically before they can bring both of them to bear on us. Does anybody have any objections, suggestions to the general idea?
You seem to have it down pat.
When you're the
Seems
pilot, I'm
reasonable.
just making sure that you're good with the directions that are the ideas that I have in mind.
Yep.
Obviously, planning is only survives first contact, but
Right.
Am I missing the page that has the fire arcs for dorsal? Because dorsal is mounted along the top of
ours
the
are
ship.
basically like we have a 15%. We have essentially a 15-degree wedge at the back of our ship that we can't shoot from.
And that's because of the dorsal weapons, right?
Yes.
And then prow is like a very limited arrow range in front of you.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And then there's I don't know if it calls them broadside, but essentially they're weapons mounted on the side of the ship that only get like a 60-degree arc. Like
yeah,
a fan,
if they're
broadside.
broadside mounted or something like that.
I forget what.
Oh, there's
called.
I'm looking at it right. What arcs a weapon may fire in are determined by the location the weapon component occupies on a starship: dorsal, prow, port, starboard, or keel. And then it explains. This is PDF page 220, book page 219. The right side column there. The dorsal weapon components are mounted on the starship's spine or upmost decks. They have a wide firing arc, but less weapons can be installed in the relatively limited space. Dorsal weapons may fire to the fore, port, and starboard. Prow weapon components are packed in the starship's forward spaces, and often weapons that must run along much of the length of the hull. Prow weapons on transports, raiders, and frigates may fire to the fore. Prow weapons on light cruisers, and that doesn't apply to any of us right now. Port and starboard weapon components are installed in broadsides along the left and right sides of the starship, respectively. Port weapons fire to the port arc only, starboard weapons to the starboard firing arc. And then keel-mounted weapons are often on long masts or fins below the ship's belly and are rare on Imperial vessels. I feel like that's like Eldar or something, isn't it? So that could be. It's also not important for what we're doing here. Acheron's ferry is moving first. Shall we begin our first round of starship combat?
How are we going to handle the piloting and firing from the other ship? Is it just whatever crew they have and you're making up some numbers, or what?
We have the ships and crew ratings. So that for the Perilous crew, it is a 30.
Okay.
So that'll be their base number for whatever the skill that they're attempting to do.
Okay.
And then same thing for you guys. The difference is, of course, if a named character is doing the task, they use their own skills as opposed to the blanket 35 that the ship's crew has.
If one of us is using essentially a sensor lock to improve the gunnery, is that for both ships or just for one?
I believe that's actually a separate one of those extended actions where it's like lock on target or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's done by ship, so each ship would have to lock on to their target individually, even if it's the same target. I want to say, I think we could probably argue, unless the book says something completely different, we could probably argue, just to make it easier for us here and now, that if one ship makes the targeting lock, the other ship gets like a plus 10 or 15 bonus to making their roll for sharing firing data. Does that make sense? And keep it relatively fair? And not too overpowered?
Clearly you can slave one ship to another for warp navigation, so targeting shouldn't be too much different.
Yeah, like sharing, yes, it would be like sharing targeting data. Like having a networked computer from one ship to the next. You guys all like, all right, everybody shift fire to that target. Everybody uses the same firing data. Now it's down to, well, my ship just didn't roll very well. Or maybe my ship was out of position to get a good set of shots in on it. Sort of thing.
The guy manning the guns on this ship was still going through withdrawal.
Or the guy on that ship was one of the assholes from Spaceballs. I got you. Nobody got it?
I'm sorry.
I got it.
Sorry, keep firing, asshole.
To be fair, you're the pilot. You don't have to follow that specific line. That's just a general idea.
Yeah.
All right. What is now? Keep in mind too. Extended actions. You guys have options for your own. Like crew members can do stuff too, or help out with various things. The extended actions
So
table.
Speed is 9.
Is it 9 on the Acheron's ferry?
Yeah.
Yep, speed is 9.
Maneuverability is plus 23. What? Like these are numbers. I don't know what they mean.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. That's a fair point. I need to fix this. This one here on that sheet. This is the Perilous. I think when we erased some of the lines that these got erased or somebody erased them. This one is the Perilous, even though it says Acheron's Ferry. The stats are all the same. I got lazy and forgetful. But just for simplicity's sake, the sheet on the right is the Perilous, the other one is the Acheron's Ferry. What was your question again? It was the maneuverability was, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Good question. I believe the maneuverability is added to various things when you're trying to do like evasive
Maneuvers. Yeah.
I believe is what it is. I'm looking for it right now.
It factors into your success for being able to do like hard turns. And,
Yeah.
And accelerations.
Okay.
And stops.
Yep. Nope, that's
So
not
what
where I
does
thought it was.
speed 9 mean?
Speed 9 is you can move 9 inches as your base, as your standard movement I was talking about earlier. You can move 9
Okay.
inches and then turn, or you can move 4.5 inches, turn, and move another 4.5 inches. And for simplicity's
Okay.
sake, if you guys want to go with only whole numbers, you can do either 4 or 5. It's the measurement tool will give you the points, the decimal points. So, but also it can get a little tricky to get that specific 0.5. So I'm not going to be terribly. Nope, that was 4.2. You need to go to 4.5. I'm not going to be that guy.
You're not?
I mean, listen, we're
So,
not on
9
an
inches
official
is-
Warhammer table. I can give you guys a little bit of
9 inches is right there.
Yeah, that's
That doesn't seem like very far.
what did we do last time? I feel like maybe we started closer. Is that what we did?
I think that we started a lot closer. But anyway, so like,
Oh, here, let me do this then. I won't move it. I won't move you guys terribly far. But let's go with like there, and then bring these guys in there. That may not make a lot of difference, but it'll make a little bit of some. And then,
Okay.
let's see.
also I feel like you might have been using a different scale table.
It might have been. I think it's been the same table. Maybe the ships look a lot larger than they should be. I don't know. Nope.
So we're just going to move forward 9.
Okay.
And you don't have to turn if you don't want to, just for the record. You could simply
Yeah,
move straight
I'm
forward.
not going to turn yet.
All right, that was the ferry.
Actually, let's assume that they can move at least 9. Extend your ruler out for a firing range. Jace. Darius, sorry, I'm not.
Chase is fine.
Okay.
What's the range on your guys' weapon? It's like 9, isn't it?
So
What is it?
it's
9. So you can fire up to 18.
So let's
Oh,
assume.
18.
Yeah. So if they're going 9, they're getting right on the edge of potential range. So yeah, you should be fine for this turn, not turning. I just was like worried that we might need to start beginning to turn or slow to keep from having them get the opening volley when they move into range.
Yeah.
All right. Acheron's ferry is complete. I believe it's Orc 2 now.
Mm-hmm.
Orks.
Oh, Orc 2 got higher than a 7?
Yeah.
Oh.
They rolled an 8. 8 total, I believe, was their thing. Let's see.
How interesting that Orc ships have the exact same speed as. Also, how do they make that neat turn?
They get to turn at the end of their movement if they want to. Did I do that wrong? I thought that's what I had just read in the Cliff's notes. Let me double check. I may have done that wrong.
Cliff's notes.
Standard move action is a ship moving forward in a straight line, a distance equal to move. Once it is finished moving forward, it may turn. If it only half moved, then the ship may finish the rest of its movement on its new heading.
Yeah, did you half move for 9?
That's
You could
To
do
finish the
your
rest of the
turn at
movement.
either point, either at the end of movement or at the halfway point. I think that's what
No,
Warner was getting
that's-
ready to say.
yeah.
I didn't want to overstep you there. All right, Carlos.
I'm 99% sure that's only the turn is only if you end your move with movement left.
No,
Let
it's
me-
not.
I can definitely look on.
He just read it.
Let me look at 213 to make sure I didn't input my notes wrong. Maneuver actions. Where is the standard movement? Let's see. Space combat distance, basic combat, blah blah. When a starship takes its maneuver action, it chooses to move directly forward a number of units equal to its speed value or half its speed value. This is the default action of a starship. Since starships are huge vessels with immense momentum, players do not have the option of simply not moving their ships. Once the starship has moved forward by its speed value or half its speed value, it may turn. So it's either or. And that's on PDF page 214, book 213.
And there are special actions that you can do to change that.
Correct. This is your default action as far as movement is concerned.
Mhm.
There's the other things where you can like
Adjust speed,
shoot
adjust
forward
speed
extra.
bearing,
I shouldn't say
come to
shoot,
new
but
heading.
move further, faster, change to a new heading, a U-turn.
Then we might should have turned a little bit more. Oh, well.
I mean,
You've
can-
got
you
90
can-
degrees of turn. You can.
like I said, you can mulligan and just rotate.
I'm
the
not
ship
going to
real quick.
argue. Like if you want to rotate a little bit, go for it.
Yeah, give them a little more of our side. What do you think, Jace? So that we're ready to slide out the side rather than engage.
I was
directly?
planning on waiting until next turn to turn.
Okay.
All right, Perlos.
They do need to be sort of front-ish for us to shoot them anyway. So
What?
You guys have your dorsal
Right.
guns and your prow guns will take care
no,
of
no,
them.
they're dorsal. I was thinking of spinal.
All of our
My bad.
guns are dorsal.
Oh, that's right. You guys, yeah, okay. I may have given away a little bit there. My bad. Somebody gonna move the parallels? Oh, you're trying to figure out what you want to do. I apologize.
I'll let Jace do the moving for both unless somebody else wants to. Alturios, do you want to move a ship?
I'm just
to
measuring
mirror-
out. I'm
was
just
like-
measuring out a 9-inch line.
I was gonna say, Alturios, do you want to move Parallels to mirror exactly what what Jace is doing, or do you want to just let Jace do it?
I just
I
measured out
mean,
a line, so I know where.
You know
how far
what?
we can go.
You know what would be kind of cool is if one of y'all was designated the parallels controller, and you not necessarily do what you want, but maybe you don't always do what the Lord Captain wants to represent the fact that you are your own ship. I leave that choice up to you guys.
Don't give me the option to be a dick to Rev. I might take it too often.
I cannot argue your logic, sir. All set?
Yep.
All right.
Just 1 sec.
That means it is now Orc 1's turn, and he is going to do this. There. There.
I'm gonna call a little bit of an objection
Okay.
because it looks like you're pre-turning the ships based off where I said I was gonna
No.
go, which the Orcs wouldn't know.
No. They have a plan of sorts. It's a Orc plan. Don't get it twisted. It's more of get out there and I'll be honest with you, their plan is to flank you. And it's not much more complicated than one ship goes to one side and one ship goes to the other side.
We can also always turn different.
Yeah, you can
directions.
absolutely change your plan based on the fact that it's like, oh, hey, look, they look like they're attempting to flank us.
All right.
All right. You know what? I didn't really look at if we should be doing each ship's doing both move and shoot in the same phase or whatever you want to call it.
If I remember from past time, the way that you said is we can either move or shoot first, or
That-
we can shoot during the middle of our move.
How would you guys like to do it? Do you want to do it like how it is in BattleTech, or would you like to like once it's a ship's turn they do everything at once before it moves on to somebody else?
What do you mean once before? Well, of course we do everything before it moves on to somebody else, but like we decide when, because this is happening over several minutes, so we're deciding when during the maneuver phase we fire at the beginning, the end, or the middle.
During the starship's turn, the crew makes a maneuver action and one shooting action. Any explorers not participating in either action may take one extended action.
Why is he so quiet all of a sudden? Is it just me?
No, he got quiet again.
Okay. I mean, I heard
I'm
everything he said. It was just
sorry.
kind of difficult to hear. So in theory, if Orc 2 was going to shoot, he should have shot before I moved it on to Perilous.
It just says one maneuver and one shooting. It does not
So it doesn't really specify per
give
se.
a before, after, during.
Okay.
It just says it does the thing.
Well, either way, I guess now that I think about it, the onslaught. Either of them get. Oh, nope, not really.
Though it does make sense that it would either be before or after and not in the middle unless something special was going on.
That's okay. The Orcs don't have range. I don't know about
I've
you
been
guys.
making all my measurements from center of base to center of base just to keep it consistent, but I don't know how you want to do it.
Center to center should be the way, but I also don't know. Am I getting center to center, or well, actually, I'm getting more edge. Personally, I don't know if that's a setting that I can change.
Huh, that's weird.
There is a setting under the ruler to, it's the fourth one over to do center.
Where is the ruler? Line? Is it the line and then? Oh,
No,
No,
Yes,
right
line.
after it's the
Yes,
it's the
line.
bubble after it's the bubble after auto.
Right.
oh, I see.
In-
When measuring from an object, I have edge selected right now. Ah, okay, yes, center to center. Now that we can specifically designate that, let's do center to center. I feel like that's
Yeah.
probably the easier way to do it because the bases
This
may
is
or
the
may
way.
not be the same size for everyone. Especially since I'm pretty sure I copied the Acheron's ferry and pasted it into the Paralos and then shrank it down to represent a smaller ship. So the
Yep.
bases are definitely not going to be the same. So let's just do center to center. Are you guys able to fire? I don't think.
No.
Okay. All right. In that case, we go to the next round, and the Acheron's ferry is moving first or doing things first. Let's do this. So is it? I guess. So it's the Acheron's ferry's turn. I guess it would be safe to say that this is the time for the ferry to do everything: move, shoot, extended actions, etc.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Let's do it that way. Let's do like easy.
Now, do you want me to go to the right or the left?
From the direction it's facing, I would say the left would be preferable. Let's target the essentially what would be the on as far as the map is concerned, the ship closer to the roll table. That would be to the right if you're following the line. The left would be the opposite direction of the line.
Yes, I know.
Just somebody else was moving the ship, and I'm like,
It was
I don't know.
Arcturus.
I'm moving the ship.
You are now, but somebody else is moving it a second ago, and I'm like, that's not what I meant.
That's
That's supposed to say down and not tone, just for the record. Sorry, what were you saying there, Arcturus?
By the way, that's starboard and aft.
Okay, fine.
I just spun the parallels 360 degrees and then put it back down.
It froze on my screen, so it looked like it was pointed toward what essentially has been now marked to the right.
It's in its correct heading at this time.
I'll give you a correct heading. Ner.
Bring it, as they say, the fuck on. Ooh.
This one's within range.
Yeah, you can shoot Orc number 1.
Fire. So what do I need to do to shoot it?
Well,
Oh, first, does somebody want to lock on target?
well, as I recall, Warner's doing the shooting.
I can do the shooting.
Okay.
And I'm
But
gonna
yes,
be
if somebody wanted to
doing.
lock on target, that'd be cool.
I'd be doing the lock on, but somebody's gonna have to refresh my memory on the math of that. It's is it perception tech use? I forget.
You're looking to do the extended action lock on target or something like that.
Use
You
scanners
can
to
find them out in
improve
the
the
wild.
accuracy of weapons. So I believe
worry.
that's detection.
It says challenging scrutiny plus detection. So you would roll your scrutiny, you get the benefit of the ship's detection modifier or stat. And then, if successful, you give a +5 bonus to the ballistic skill test to fire one weapon component during this turn. Every 2 degrees of success adds an additional +5 to that same test. So
my perception plus the ship's detection is what I'm rolling against.
Scrutiny
your scrutiny.
plus detected.
Correct.
Scrutiny is perception.
Sure.
There you go.
Well, if you have like a +10 to your scrutiny test or scrutiny skill, it would be.
I am trained on scrutiny.
Okay.
I get the
Yeah, so yes.
Actually, I may have taken a +10 and not marked it. I just updated my stuff.
So what I'm hearing is perception +15, or is it going to be +25? We haven't narrowed that one down.
Alturius, what are you doing?
Measuring the difference between turning beforehand and just
So I did
turning the
have
ship
one question
then move.
on my.
You can't turn before moving half your speed.
I had forgotten
Unless
that
you
I
do
had this
special
question for you,
action.
Omar.
Yes. What's your question?
On my rank 3 rogue trader advances.
Mhm.
Oh, never mind. It's not a rank 2. I can't get that one yet. I'd already picked my rank 3s. Never mind then.
Okay.
There is so this is a question for the future. I already have trained in scrutiny because of something else.
Mhm.
But it just says scrutiny. It doesn't say +10. It just says scrutiny, but I already have it trained. Does that count as a +10?
What trained means is you get the full perception value.
I know that,
as opposed.
but
right.
I'm saying on the rank 3, I have a line that just says scrutiny, not scrutiny +10.
You can't
which
take it since you've already done something in your background.
Right. That's what I thought. That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to confirm.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yes.
not actually a scrutiny +10. It's something that I already have.
That sounds
If
right.
during character creation you got scrutiny twice, it would give you a +10. But after the fact, you can only take the thing that will be an improvement for you.
That's what I thought.
So if you
I was
have
like,
a +10, you have to wait until you see the advance for +20.
right, but I was thinking that this regular scrutiny is essentially the same as trained, and there was no point in taking it, and I just
Correct.
confirmed
There
that.
is no point in taking it.
Okay. All right. Made a little note on my PDF.
Okay.
So yeah, and the ship's detection is remind me again.
I think you were
15.
just saying it's
15.
15. So my 30 something plus 15. It's 36 plus 15 for a 51.
51.
Now I have a thing that gives me a bonus to tech use. I feel like being able to link to the ship directly should be some kind of bonus.
You got
I have the ability. I have a mind interface unit that I can link directly to the ship.
and it gives you a +10 bonus on
A number of things. Gunnery, piloting, tech use.
It sounds like it doesn't have it for this particular task, because this is scrutiny, not tech use. Unless the scrutiny is listed in there.
Well, that's what I'm looking to double check on the item, because I made a note. It's a +10. It's a mind interface unit. Is a +10 to logic, inquiry, and ballistic, and a +20 to tech use, pile, and drive.
So unfortunately, no bonus for the lock-on factor. I believe we're still rolling on a 51, unless you drop a fate point to make it 61.
Given 3, I'm not sure.
This may not be the best time to use a fate point.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and burn one to try to get an early advantage.
Sure. That's always an option. So 61.
Yep.
Okay.
It has closed.
That is a 98. Would you like to spend a second one to re-roll that?
No.
Okay. Your gunner will then get a standard ballistic attack. I believe that is just a challenging ballistic roll, plus modifier for range, which I believe we are beyond 9, but not beyond 18.
Correct.
So beyond 9, but not beyond 18, will give you a minus 10 ballistic.
Okay.
I want to verify that in the book, so give me just a second. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, 'cause I remember writing that down. Standard attack. Where is the standard attack thing? However, when firing at a target at half the range, yeah, that's it right there, yeah. When firing a macro battery, okay, so you're firing your Sunseer laser macro battery on the Acheron's Ferry, I'm assuming?
Mhm.
Don't you have 2? So you could actually fire both of them together
Yep.
if you wanted to.
Yes. 2.
So what you'll do is you'll make a single attack roll. No, that doesn't sound right. Give me a second. Hang on. What's the final number? Okay, let's see.
I thought you made him make 2 attack rolls last time.
It's an option. I want to read this and make sure I got this right, though. So let's see. When firing a macro battery, a successful roll scores 1 hit plus 1 additional hit for each degree of success to a maximum of the macro battery's strength. A more accurate hit, yep. After the ship calculates the amount of hits it has scored, apply the effects of the defender's void shields, yep. Final number of hits has been determined, yep. Final total is the amount of damage. If a ship fires multiple there we go. If a ship fires multiple macro batteries at a single target before rolling to hit and determining the total damage total for each macro battery, the character directing the fire has the option of adding the totals together and applying the new, larger total to the target ship once, rather than applying each damage. Okay, so what that means is you would roll both attacks, and when you're adding the damages up, you add it all into a single block of damage.
Sounds good to me.
When you do that, the counter to that, though, is if you choose to add all your damage at once instead of as each individual successful hit, you can only gain a total of 1 critical hit if you happen to score a critical hit.
Yeah. Well, based on trying to bypass hull,
Also, if they have
at
void
first,
shields,
it's definitely best.
if they have void shields and you
Oh, you're
combine
right,
the
void
damage,
shields.
it negates all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great question. Give me a second, because they talk about that too. I want to
We had
verify.
to, with the other one, we had to get 2 hits in order to get through the void shields with the first hit and do damage with the second. That's how you had it last time.
Here we go. If the attacker combines the damage of multiple macro batteries against the defending ship, the attacker chooses which hits are discarded by the void shields. This represents the attacker timing his salvos to overwhelm the enemy's shields with his lighter weaponry. So, in this case, if your target has 1 shield, you have 6 total hits. You choose which of those 1 hits gets eaten by the shields, i.e. the one doing the least amount of damage, and add up the
Okay.
total of the other 5 hits.
Nice.
That's good to know in advance.
So if you
I
want
like
to combine all your damage into a single hit, that's how you would overcome that. And as the
Alright.
the attacker chooses which hits don't count. So, I
Like,
believe we have
wait
a
a minute,
ballistic
which
minus 10
hits don't
on the
count?
table. Times 2.
All right. Yes.
Warner, sorry, you were saying something and you were coming in faint and I barely heard you.
Yeah, let me mess with
Oh, you're
something
actually
real
right
quick.
there. Whatever you did right there when you spoke, you sounded good.
He was
All
a
right.
little louder.
I just moved the microphone up a little bit.
That might have been all it needed.
All right.
Yep, I can hear you clearly now.
Cool.
So, my math and memory says ballistics minus 10 times 2. Well, meaning 2 separate rolls. If that's
Right.
what you want to do.
I can handle that.
Are you the one doing
Now,
it?
if I
You're
were
the master
to...
of guns anyway, so.
Yes. Yes.
Or whatever
I'm the
that title
master of
is.
guns.
It's an actual title for Void Masters.
Yeah,
actually,
into
but-
the storm has a.
Oh, the rolls. I think you are the.
Yeah.
That's can't remember what it's called. Anyways. And you are firing on orc number 1.
Hey Rev, I think you can erase those blue and red lines now.
The last
They-
time I
they
hit
seem-
erase, the last time I clicked erase lines, it took Paralos off the other chart. But I'll.
I got it.
No. Don't hit erase lines.
You
Go to your draw
Mhm.
and click on the erase.
I did that.
That gives you this icon. Yeah, there you go.
Somebody else did it.
I did it, and then
Oh,
realized Darius
okay.
was explaining how to do it. I apologize.
Well, I tried using the erase icon,
Well,
and then
you-
it go and did nothing.
You
You
click
did the
and
line.
then drag. Click and drag over the lines that you want to erase.
Okay, so basically, do a big select box. Got
Yep,
it.
basically. Warner, are you making the attack roll, or
Is
somebody
the
else?
Master of Ordnance.
Oh, that's what you were doing. You were looking up. I was wondering what you were doing. You were looking up the name of that title because all of us were sitting here going, "It's the Master of the Guns, the Gun Master, the Ship Destroyer." I forget what it's called.
Master of Ordnance.
Yes, please, Master of Ordnance. Will you?
Did anyone on our ship do the lock on target action?
They attempted to. It failed.
Okay.
Rev rolled a 98 when he needed like a 61 or something.
All right.
Yep,
Well then,
61.
that is what it is.
So ballistics -10 twice, unless you
can
want to do
handle
something about that.
that.
Although I'm pretty sure
I'll
your
spend a
ballistic.
fate point
I was
to
gonna say,
get
I'm
my
pretty sure your ballistic score is pretty good.
My ballistic score is pretty good, but -10 sucks. So I could negate that by spending a fate point.
Yeah, and I will allow both of these rolls because it's the same action, more or less.
Cool.
I don't know if any other
All right,
referee
I'm
would have
looking
said that.
for a 69 or lower.
Nice.
I would have thought your ballistic would be higher.
Oof.
That's not going to work.
Okay, that's a total miss on that series, unless you want to fade it. Oh my god.
Behold, the suck.
Would you like to fate point that? I will allow a single.
No, I will not.
Okay. All right. Is there any other
It is
actions?
no
that...
good spending.
Yeah, I hear you.
Throwing after bad money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you. Is there any other actions, extended type, that you would like to take before you relinquish your turn?
I would like to unleash a string of invectives in German at the orcs. So if my weapons do not hit them, at least my words do.
I feel like actually that's exactly what happens, is that we get this long string of very colorful, very eloquently detailed German profanity from the Master of Ordnance station aboard the bridge.
At least one Schweinhund.
Oh yeah. All right. For real though, any extended actions, or is it now going to be Orc number 2's turn?
Pretty sure it's orc number 2's turn. I don't think there's
That
anything
sounds
else
good to me.
we can do, unless I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Well, the extended actions is the only other option you guys have. You've moved, you shot. That's all that's left. All right, so let's see.
Did we move or just turn?
I believe you did the full movement,
We
didn't you?
moved, turned, and then moved.
Okay.
And with the Paralos, I plan on just moving
Oop.
and then turning.
I don't want to turn quite that. Okay. that'll work.
Orcs.
Yes. Put me. Ballistic
Way
minus
closer than I wanted him
10.
to get. That's why I wanted to turn sooner.
Let's see.
If we'd have turned sooner, we wouldn't have been in range to hit the other one. In spite of the fact that we missed, but you know.
Correct.
All right, I
We can't
am rolling.
blame the strategy for the failings of the Master of Ordnance.
I'm rolling 20s. I'm gonna
That
roll
seems
3 of
good.
them.
That seems like a strong set of rolls.
Does it fail? That is also a fail. And also a fail. They are not doing any extended actions. So, Carlos, you're up. Oh, but
Okay.
the Orc 2 was firing on the Acheron's Fairy, by the way.
I know.
There's an Orc. We get a camera shifting perspective, and there's an Orc on one of the raiders that goes, "We can't fight them. They're too fast. Shoot everything." I can't do a good Orc accent. I apologize for those that were expecting one.
See, what you do is you pretend you're like some sort of British, like,
Lying.
football
Fire.
hooligan,
You can fire at either one of them.
and you talk like that.
So you
And
talk
I
like
would
Michael
suggest
Caine.
the number 2.
With the
Yeah,
bad attitude.
let's focus from here on it too.
Yeah. Oh, you're firing on which one? This one?
Number
Oops.
2.
Alterios, would
This
you
is
like to be the pretend crew firing on ship number 2?
a negative response.
It gives you something to do other than measure things.
Eh.
All right, what's what am I rolling for? I guess if
Ballistic minus. Yeah, ballistic minus 10 because you're outside standard.
and you're saying the crew skill is only a 30 ballistic, huh?
For who? Oh, for the parallels, yes.
Yeah.
You have your rogue trader special ability of giving somebody a +10 if you like.
Now you mention it. I forgot I could do that in ship combat. Okay. I feel like I can't radio over the comms. It's got to be somebody within my sight.
That I'll tell you this. If you don't use it on the ferry, you can use it on parallels, but you can't use it on both ships for obvious reasons.
Okay. Right. So both these rolls are at a 40.
30, and then hold on. 30 minus 10 because you're outside the range, and then you're bringing it back up.
How are we outside the range? Hold on.
It's
beyond 9, but not beyond 18.
correct.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's back to just a flat 30.
Yep. And well, let's get there first.
My chat window keeps closing on me in the bottom corner. I think it's a setting since I reinstalled it.
Okay. That was an 86. You
I haven't gotten even below a 50 today.
Yeah, I didn't roll very well either.
You at least got one in the 50s.
This is
clicked
true.
it
I
and
did
that's
get
okay.
one. I think you have to wait for the dice to disappear. Christ, an 86 twice in a row.
3 86s in a row, actually.
Yeah, there is 3. I see that now. Yeah, I don't know what's
going
up with these dice.
going on with the dice.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Are you doing any extended actions for the parallels? Hey,
What are the
what are you
odds on
doing?
2 separate dice of essentially rolling an 8-6 3 times in a row?
Astronomical, I think. We're talking
Yes.
like at least in the thousands.
Well, it's a 1 out of 100 chance to roll an 86 in the first place,
Correct.
and that only gets weirder from there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that twice in a row is like what, 1 out of 10,000, and then 3 times it's in the millions.
It goes up a whole nother scale there to get it 3 times in a row. Is the parallels doing any extended actions?
Is it actually that far behind the other ship?
What do you mean?
I'm asking Jace if the Paralos is actually that far behind.
Yes, that is accurate to where the Paralos is versus the Acheron's Ferry.
Okay. Is there any way we can have it do essentially an acceleration maneuver for the second half of its turn to try to catch up to us, so it doesn't get left behind?
Did it do its full movement already
Think-
this turn?
Yes.
Okay, so not this turn, but yes, next turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All done?
Apparently.
Orc 1 is going to scooch up to there. Turn
Just a skosh.
like that. Scooch up there. Now he is in, damn it, just outside 9. 10.4. Alright, I'm rolling 320s again. That's a miss. That is absolutely a miss.
I'm not even. I've got so much lag. I'm not even seeing your numbers show up yet.
You know what? One of my numbers didn't report. The second number did. And that's also a miss. Okay. They're not doing any extended actions because I'm not going to stress those too much.
So far, we've put on a light show.
I think it's more of
Yeah.
a fireworks show, but yeah. Guns
No,
blast.
fireworks would be if we had hit.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Acheron's Ferry, you are up.
Okay. Acheron's Ferry is not going to make a special maneuver. It's the Paralos that will be doing that.
Correct.
Let's see. I think we should take the Acheron's Ferry. Why is... Oh, because I've got another window active. Okay.
You
we
don't
should
know
take
how
the
many times
Acheron's
I've
Ferry.
typed on the Word document because I was trying to push WSA or D on the tabletop. I'm sorry, I talked all over you. Please continue.
We should take the Acheron's Ferry half move, turn, and going up, and then half move. That will also make it easier for the Paralos to catch up.
If you do that, you wouldn't even necessarily have to move extra. You can do a standard action move, I think, with the Paralos on the next turn. They would scoop
Maybe.
forward the full 9 and then turn 90, or whatever the degree would be that you need to match up.
No, it'd still be a little bit behind, so we would still need to do the acceleration maneuver. Not that act. No. Like this, and then like this.
I'm just speculating in my own head what you're talking about to prove my point to myself. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing. Do what you're gonna do.
I'm trying to get around the other ship.
Yeah. No,
Crash
I got you.
into it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do you think we're going to end up further or closer to Orc 2 at the? Should we fire at the? Do you think we should fire at the beginning or the end of the maneuver?
At the end.
The end might put you in under 9 inches by a smidge, giving you
By a
that,
smidge, yeah.
giving you just enough leeway to say +10, bitches.
Yeah. So, sound good, Captain?
Yep. I'll get ready to fail on a scan.
Oh no, I apologize. The +10 applies only when you're at half the range, not under the standard range bracket. But you would lose the -10 penalty.
I know. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I apologize. And there you go. Ballistics, and then if you
8.2.
and then you could do the lock on to get yourself
Okay.
even more ballistic skill bonuses.
Yep.
Doing the lock on.
It was 61 or 51.
50.
It was 51. Ooh,
It was
50.
51
51. It was your base. Yep,
And we got a 50.
Yep, so +5. So ballistics +5.
to both ships.
Yes, I will allow that.
I thought it was a +10.
It's +5 for the initial, and then +5 for each, I think, 2 degrees after that.
Okay.
Master of Ordnance.
Okay.
Ballistics +5 is what you're rolling, times however many
Okay.
weapon systems you have.
Ballistics +5, and then an additional +5 for being Master of Ordnance since I am benefiting this time.
So that's a total of ballistics +10.
Correct.
All right, rip my orcs.
Goodbye, Orky boys, if I don't screw this
Now-
up like I did last time.
Do we know if they have void shields, or are they strictly relying on hull strength?
You can answer that question. Well, you know what? You have fired at them, and you have noticed. Let me refer to my notes really fast. You have noticed the distinct, faint, purpley, ripply effects of your macro cannon. Well, no, you're firing lasers. Yes, they have shields. Damn it! Let me stop trying to be too descriptive here. Ooh, a
so that looks
15.
good.
That's one hit plus how many? It was one for every degree. So how many? What was your target number?
My target number is 79.
79. So that's going to be 6. But what is
We get all the
the
hits.
what's the strength? Because that's the cap on how many hits. Strength is
it's
4.
not a high. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
only
so
4
you have
hits.
4 hits there. Go ahead and roll your second one.
That's good.
And that is another 2 hits.
Yep, another 2 hits.
So a total of 6 hits. Are you going to apply all 6 hits in a single chunk of damage minus the
yes!
shield? All right, so roll your damage 6 times and then choose which one does not apply.
Yeah, subtract the lowest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the damage on these is
I believe it's 1d10 plus
On our
4?
thing.
2.
We're about to
1d10 plus
find
2.
out. 1d10 plus 2. All right. So,
So roll 60-10.
That is a way to do it.
Oh.
yes.
yeah, I'll do that for the next.
Okay.
So that first one was 6 plus 2 is 8. What's the lowest
Alright.
that came up there? The 2.
One of the
so
2s is going to get absorbed by
4.
the void shield.
4. 7,
I don't like rolling them together because you get a statistically higher
10.
chance of lower numbers, I've found.
Oh, really?
Did I get...
Well, so
Hmm.
what I've got, what's hitting, we've got a 4, a 7,
Uh-huh.
an 8,
Uh-huh.
a 9, and a 10.
That's what I was missing. All right, so 4, 8, 7, 9, 10.
Yes.
Oops. Okay. Second. Gonna do some maths.
4, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So 8 plus
Don't forget the
4
6.
plus
Eight.
That was the 8.
7
Oh, okay. 8. Yeah.
plus
Yeah.
10
He added the 2s to make it easier for Omar.
plus 9. I mean, listen, I need all the help I can get. And then
We know.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. And then
How do we determine if there was a critical?
I was literally just about to say, because I had this figured out at one point, and now I don't remember what it is. So give me a second and let me look at my notes. Shooting phase, crit rating, number of successes the shot must have to... Oh, the crit rating is the number of successes the shot must have to score a critical hit. So let's look at our Sunspear laser battery weapon stats. The crit number is 4. So in order for you to score a crit, you have to have 4 hits. You did on one of those shots. So that then means...
Well, we combined them together, so that was only 1 crit anyway.
Well, yeah. Let me see. When firing a weapon, if a character rolls a number of successes equal to or higher than the crit rating, the shot has caused a critical hit. If the shot does not do any damage, it did. Then roll 1d5 on the critical hits chart, page 223, table 8-12, and apply the result to the ship in question. So, one of you roll, well, Reinhardt, you're the shooters, go ahead and roll 1d10 divide by 2.
Okay.
Let me see what that is.
Behold, a 2. So divide by 1. 2 is 1.
Yep, 1. Hold. What does that mean? Let's see.
It hits whatever's in their cargo bay.
Oh,
basically.
no, it's... No. It's not that kind of hole. There's an E in that word.
Oh,
It basically a hole. A lucky hit has wrenched open the ship's hull, exposing it to space. The attacker selects one component, only choosing components that you know of, that is not the bridge or plasma warp drives. Emergency bulkheads slam into place to seal off the compartment, but this compartment is depressurized, and that actually probably puts penalties on me. So,
Oh, we can't choose a bridge.
no. You could choose the other components that you know about. Now, if you remember from the last space battle, which you may not, it's fine. You have to do some sort of, I believe it's a targeted scan, in order to recognize what components that ship has. Unless it has used those components against you. In this case, they have used
so
their
the two
map
components-
batteries. Go ahead.
other
So
than
the-
me, think Void Shield sounds like a good idea.
Sure.
So I was gonna say the two components we've seen are void shields and weapons. So
Yeah.
I'll let you take your pick of what you were aiming for, Warner.
think
Weapons
Void Shields.
also sounds good. We've seen them fire a dorsal cannon. Is that correct?
Yes, they have both fired a dorsal and 2 prow-mounted weapons.
All right, I'll take out the dorsal on it then.
Okay. And I don't know what the book says. If somebody wants to look it up, that's fine. How do we want to handle? Let me see. Oh, all effects take place in the same round. So I still have all 3 weapon systems this round, but next round I'll be down to 2 weapon systems. That sound right?
Correct.
Okay. And you said
We
minus
disabled it before your turn.
minus the dorsal weapons.
They take it effect in the same round, sir.
Okay.
They take effect. So when that ship comes up next in
I
this
get
round,
it. I understand.
I want to make sure I get it right. When that ship shoots next, it only has the 2 prow-mounted weapons. Is that what I'm hearing?
So essentially, no. When it shoots next, it'll have all 3 because essentially all of this is happening at the same time. We're
Gotcha.
simply playing it out in a
Yeah.
turn-based.
For this round, it has all 3.
Gotcha.
But next round,
Right. Yep.
it only has the 2 prow mounted.
Gotcha. Okay.
Are you proud of yourself, Warner?
Yes.
It's
To not be encouraging. Fuck, I forgot. Don't encourage Rev. Don't encourage
It's
Rev.
kinda
It's
like,
rule number 3.
It's kind of like BattleTech's turns. Like they're turns, but they all happen at the same time.
Yeah. Anything else for the fairy? Extended actions and things of that nature. Well, you already did. No, you have more characters that can do extended actions if you'd like. So.
How close do we need to be for the NPC boarding action? Because
The
Winter
extended action boarding thing.
because Winter is in the hull to give that a bonus, or the cargo shuttle bay.
Give me a second. Let me look it up. Let's see. What is it?
Wait, when she
Hit and
connects us
Run.
with her,
It's called Hit and Run, and it is the details are listed on page 219. Well, excuse me, book 218, PDF 219. Allows character to raid an enemy ship, sabotage it, and then retreat. Character makes a challenging pilot test, attempting to reach one enemy ship within 5 inches in our case. So you have
it's
to
not
get
within 5. So
you have to get within 5 to do that. All right, anything
which
else?
is good because that means the orcs can't do it to us. Not yet.
Not yet.
No. But doesn't Rodance
Winter.
doesn't Winter by connecting us all with her mind give us some kind of plus, some kind of small bonus?
There was a bonus to resisting fear or something like that,
Okay.
as well as obviously being able to talk
I thought
to
it
each
was
other.
a coordination bonus.
It was a morale bonus
Yeah.
and a fear bonus.
Yeah. So it was more of a supporting bonus than it was an active sort of thing.
Okay.
I
I
believe.
forgot about the plus 10 Warner again. I'm sorry.
Anything else for the fairy before I move on to orc number 2?
No.
I would like to know where the maneuvers are that I can do. What book and what page number?
For book, it is going to be the extended act. Well, oh, sorry. Here we go. Maneuver actions start on PDF page 215. Adjust
In the
bearing.
core book?
Yes. Adjust bearing, adjust speed and bearing. Come to new heading. Disengage. Evasive
Got it.
maneuvers is on the next page.
Got it.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, this is what I didn't want to happen. I wanted us to get in their rear arc.
That is, damn, that's still 6.8, so, but that's fine. We're rolling 30s. But I'm gonna try that lock on target to give myself a little bonus since we're closer now. Lock on target is scrutiny plus the ship's detection. Cat, what are you doing?
I feel like orcs aren't big on scrutiny.
They're just gonna use their standard 30 skill rating, so plus the ship's detection, which is what I gotta look up. That okay. I am rolling on 40s for this.
40.
Yeah.
They didn't get a bonus to initiative.
No, we have detection 10. Yes, they did. They had a +1. I just didn't say anything. I will send you the document that I have if you want.
No, I mean, based on your rolls, you didn't give them a +1.
I did. I just didn't say anything at the time because you guys were talking about various other things at the time.
Various and sundry things.
Yes. I barely got a +5, so they're going to be shooting, hitting the Paralos on 35 plus. Or not plus, 35 target number. 3 times. First roll is a hit with 2 degrees of success.
Can I spend a fate point to make them re-roll that?
Is that an option in this game?
No.
I was going to say, that sounded a little... Wait a minute, hold on. That's an edge roll for Battletech, you son of a bitch. All right, I'm going to combine damage as well. So that is 1 hit, and then I needed a 35. That's 2 degrees of success. Yes. 19, 29. Yeah. So 3 hits. What's the strength on that? Okay. So 3 hits. Second one, 35. Does not hit. So it's going to be 3d10 times. Nope, not times. Plus 6.
If it's got 2 prow-mounted guns, they can't hit us. The nose is pointed wrong.
Damn. You know what? You're right. And I was rolling. I've only rolled the prow. Shit. So never mind. That didn't actually hit. I'm gonna roll dorsal. Before I do that, I'm supposed to roll this first.
I thought dorsal was gone. Never mind. It's still there for this
Yeah.
spell.
I forgot I'm supposed to roll that. So okay, we've got that. So now 35. And that's a miss. You lucky sons of bitches. All right. Well, we managed to lock on target on the Paralos. The Paralos is getting target lock. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. Go ahead, make your moves there.
Target locked.
They're locking
So
us up, or whatever it is that people say. I don't know. Totally spaced it.
The Paralos is getting a +5 from my scan.
Yep.
But the first thing they're doing is they're falling back on their old pirate instincts, and they've already launched a boarding party on the orcs. So let's go ahead and do that first.
Hold on. They have to move first. They are outside of the. They're at 5.5 presently.
Now, we just discussed they don't have to move before they take their actions. Are you changing that rule again?
Hold on. No, hold on. You can do the move, shoot, and extended actions in more or less any order. You're right. They are at 5.5 according to my measurement. 5. Let me see. Where's the base of that? The center of that.
Center to center is 6.8.
Yeah.
So we would have to move half first,
Yeah.
No.
then launch, then move the other half.
Okay. Just don't have them get too close. Essentially, make the same maneuvers that you were originally intending to make to keep the Paralos close to the to our main ship, and if they get within 5, then they'll do that.
Okay,
Otherwise,
so first they move there.
we'll go ahead and have them fire. They get a +5, so if they're rolling on 35s, or they're hitting on 35s.
Also, I am going to be doing a. Hold on. How does this work? Hold on. It was right.
That's a hit.
Hold on,
That's
Rev.
multiple hits.
Hold on, Rev.
Hold
Rev.
on.
Hold on.
Okay.
I was going to do a maneuver to increase the speed.
Yes, there was that plan.
How does that affect this? Do I do the regular movement first and then do the maneuver, or
Yes. We're doing the half. You said you're doing the half move, so I'm
Right, but if you're doing a maneuver action, that takes the place of your standard maneuver or standard move.
okay?
So you wanted.
no.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's essentially, I don't know how many extended actions we get for that ship since it doesn't have any of us on board.
But this right here, the taking a maneuver, is a maneuver action.
Speeding up, what he's wanting to do, what we boosted the speed with, was an extended action by the pilot. Is that something we can actually do with this ship, since he's not on board?
What I'm saying is that this maneuver, adjusting your speed, is listed as a maneuver action, not as an extended action.
Look at the extended actions for the pilot.
If you look at PDF 218, you have a maneuver actions table, and then you have extended actions table. So there's the extended actions don't really have much in the way of maneuvering things. These are like things that the crew would be doing.
There's one for the
the hit and run. Hit and run has a pilot test.
There's one for the engine seer to boost the engine speed. That's what he would. That's what I'm referring. That was what I was referring to, and that's not part of the maneuver action. That's separate.
I see what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay, so
that's how we got so much speed in the previous combats.
Hang on.
And what I'm asking is how many extended actions, because if we're doing the boarding thing, how many extended actions?
The extended actions, technically you have one for every character. I believe was what we had decided previously.
We have one for every character, but there are no characters on the other ship. So
right. So what I ruled for that, let me double check my notes, because I know I wrote this in here.
Because you just gave the Ork ship with no characters on board, player characters.
Yeah, because I gave them one extended action, which I believe, yes. Each ship can also do extended actions once per NPC ship, and I put question mark because I couldn't find a definitive answer in the book. Okay. And then once per player per turn.
Okay, so my question is, to the crew, since this is a group game, it gets one extended action. Do we want to try to board and cripple a component, or do we want to get extra speed to have it catch up? I would honestly rather skip the boarding action and just have it catch up to us.
Let's do that then.
Okay, so nix the boarding action, but once it reaches halfway point, I'm firing anyway.
Right. Well,
and I've already rolled one of the rolls for that.
Okay, we should still be within 9. But I need to...
You're at less than half.
Put it back.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
And then we need to figure out what the boost is.
Like how to adjust speed is I believe the task you're looking for.
No, not adjust speed.
Oh,
the engine sears boost.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure that one out as well. There's...
What page did you say the extended actions are on?
Page 218. PDF page 218, I should say. Mm-hmm. There is the Aid the Machine Spirit extended action, which is a tech use, and the bonus, and assuming you succeed that, you get a bonus to detection or maneuverability. Maneuverability gives your basically evasive maneuvers, not necessarily your
It's called flank speed. The character
Flank
must make a
speed.
challenging.
Oh shit,
tech
you're
use-
right. Shit, I apologize. Didn't even see that right there. Character makes a challenging tech use to nurse the ship's engines and push them to their limits. Success means the ship may move an additional unit. This turn, each degree of success allows additional units. Failure by 2 or more degrees means the ship immediately suffers an engine's crippled hit.
Actually, I think I just want to have it move. After having, I didn't realize there was a failure component.
Mm-hmm.
So
The crippled engines.
basically with 30 being our line, I think I'd rather just have it get as close to us as it can. So half movement, and then whatever turn you think it needs to make, Jace, and then the rest of its, and then fire, and then the rest of its movement.
Now, conversely, Jace,
Yeah.
as a maneuver action, which is a separate category from the extended actions, you can do adjust
Right.
speed, which is
Which I'm going to do as well.
Right. Challenging pilot plus the maneuverability. And on success, you may decrease or increase the number of inches the ship moves by 1. For every degree of success, you increase or decrease by an additional number of successes. So 1 plus 1 for every degree of success.
What is the penalty for failure on that?
I'm getting there. The ship may not move less than 0. The starship may not move double or more its speed while using this maneuver. Only flake speed allows that. So those are your only limitations. If you fail, it just doesn't happen the way you want it to.
Okay, good. I'm more comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Now
there's
let's.
no penalty,
I would
there's no-
recommend resolving that before moving the half, just to make it easier for everybody.
Okay.
Right.
So, challenging pilot plus maneuverability. So whatever your piloting is plus the maneuverability. I believe you also have another bonus on your character for piloting.
Wait, what my piloting is?
Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. So no,
It's
it
only-
would be
it's only the 30.
Yeah. So 30 plus the ship's
Aw.
maneuverability.
Damn.
Yeah. My bad. I forgot about that part. Because not only would it be your piloting skill, otherwise, don't you have a piloting modifier from some equipment thing?
Yeah.
Anyway, so you need to make a, let's see, the maneuverability mod is 23. So 53 to get some extra movement. And then it's 1 inch plus,
53.
yep, 1 inch plus 1 inch per degree of success.
Okay. Then I'm going. May I use a fate point to increase it by 10?
I don't see why not.
Excellent.
So 63.
Da, 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 da.
47, 2 degrees of success, that's 3 inches that you get on top of your 9.
That sounds perfect.
Which you can either, now to be clear, that means you can change your speed to either 12 or 6, anywhere in there, in between that
Right.
range.
Right. Which is why I'm going to go 6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Right there. And then turn slightly.
Mhm.
And then
We're
go
firing.
the other 6. Oh,
Fire.
yeah. We're firing right here.
Yeah.
My first roll
Let's
was 8.
let's go ahead and do that fire resolution right now. So we have 1 already. What was the target number on that shot? 30 plus 10, I think.
35.
35.
Oh, actually, it was
That would have been 45.
It
So
was-
that's
it was
4 degrees of
45.
success. What's the strength on that weapon? It's 4. I remember now.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 hits, including a critical hit at this point. And then you have
Okay.
another roll to make, I believe.
Right. Let's see if I can actually manage to land another under 45.
Good luck, sir. Would you like to fate point that? It's a 45. I don't know if that's a good choice, but I leave
No.
it to you.
No, I'm not gonna fate point that.
Okay.
It's 3 hits and a critical. No,
no, it's
the
4
void
hits.
shields are already down.
Nope.
It's 4 hits.
It
and a
gets
critical.
it resets on when a different attacker hits. It's a
No,
little confusing the way it's phrased in the book, but if you look it up, that's how it works.
It resets on the round.
No,
Yeah.
no. I wish that I kind of wish it were, but it's not. Let me get to where it talks about void shields. Void shields create an injury barrier, blah, blah, blah. Void shields function by absorbing incoming hits. I think it's on the next page.
Because that's not how you handle it when both pirate ships were shooting at us.
Bear with me here. If the attacker combines the damage, let's see. Once they have reduced their strength and hits, they overload and shut down any remaining hits in that salvo. Hit the target. Any further shots fired against the target by the attacking ship will also hit the target unimpeded. Let's see. It is important to note void shields reduce hits from all ships firing on them. If one attacker fires on a ship, the ship's void shields reduce the hits as usual, even if they overload and another attacker fires on the ship in the same round, the void shields will be restored in time.
So it's 3 hits and a critical.
You rolled 8 on a 45, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 degrees of success, which is a total of 4 hits. Because your strength 4. You would have been
Right, so
5.
So it's
okay.
4 hits, and one of them is a critical.
I mean, it's still, you roll damage 4 times, and then we figure out what the critical is.
Yeah.
No, I roll damage 5 times and we discard the lowest one.
No, 4 and discard the lowest one.
You just said 5. Now you're saying 4.
No. Jesus Christ. No, you're rolling 4 hits and discard the lowest one.
Okay. Why did you say
It
5
would have
hits
been...
just to-
No, what I'm saying is it would have been 5 total hits, but your strength is 4.
Okay.
That's what I think. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, don't do that to me.
Yeah, sorry. So 4 damages.
Get his hopes up just to dash him.
I mean, that's what I'm really good at.
So
Sorry,
we got
so
a
that's
5.
7,
It
was
is
that?
really laggy tonight.
3,
Whoa. Oh, damn.
5, 4. So we're gonna take out that 3.
Yep.
12, 16, and then the armor is no damage applied.
But still a critical.
There is a critical, yes. Because you were combining all of that, I believe it was you select the target. Let me just double check really fast. Let's see.
The shields are down.
Attacker can know what component serves. 2 ways. First is through using active augury. Second is if that attacker. Yeah, that's. What did we do? What did my notes say? Oh, wrong page. Let's see. Space combat. Shooting phase. Macro batteries, lances. When firing weapon. If the shot does not do any damage, yes, inflict 1 point of damage. Then roll 1d5 on the critical heart hits chart. Oh, that's what it was. And apply the result to the ship in question.
Oh yeah, sorry. I don't get to pick. I have a 1, so I do get to pick.
Sorry. Give me I'm multiple windows open here, so I gotta sift through them all.
Well, I'll just roll the 1
See
on
that?
the table.
Oh yeah, that's right. The result was hold a lucky hit, and then you choose. That is not bridge or the plasma warp drives.
Okay, so it no longer has a dorsal cannon or void shields.
Okay. Void shields are disrupted. Now, then I get to figure out what depressurization means. Depressurization, because that's what the dorsal weapons and the void shields have been depressurized. And what that means is air violently vents over a number of rounds. The GM should determine a time depending on how big the hole was. Sure. Any characters attempting to exit, Once all air is vented, all characters inside the component suffers, Depressurization deals 1d10 damage to crew and 1d5 to crew morale. Does not make the component damaged.
Oh.
Although a depressurized component may be damaged for other reasons and vice versa. The component may even be used, provided the crew members wear void suits. And guess what the orcs aren't wearing? So
Void suits.
So your voids, that orc's void shields and its dorsal weapons are ineffective only because there's no crew on them because they got vented to space. So I think anybody looking at this ship, maybe through some sort of auger array or something, is like, oh, that's a lot of dead greenskins floating in space now. Anything else for the
all those
Paralos? Oh, we have
stupid
the
orcs.
Paralos' second half of movement to complete.
Yep.
All right,
The
go ahead and do
other-
that.
The other
Is
6
there any-
inches.
Is there anything else going on with the Paralos besides that movement?
Do we, since we didn't use the extended action for the risky thing, do we want to try boarding? It can't hurt, so far as I know.
My suggestion is this. With the boarding action, let me see what exactly it says, because I believe you board, and if successful, you choose a component, and then it's destroyed or damaged or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is you're not aware of components. Let me see what it says here.
Oh, I absolutely am aware of the prow guns that we haven't disabled yet.
That's a fair point. Let me see what it says here. Character makes a challenging pilot spacecraft test, attempting to reach one enemy ship within 5 units, accompanied by a team of raiders. This test can be modified by target vessel's turret rating. If he fails the test, he is forced to return to his ship. If he fails by 4 or more degrees, his craft is shot down. Character either survives stranded in a crippled craft or killed at the GM's discretion. That's immaterial. On success, he then makes an opposed ordinary command test against the commander of troops aboard the enemy ship. And if he succeeds, roll 1d5 on the critical hit chart twice and select one result to apply to the enemy ship, plus 1 point of damage to hull integrity for every degree of success on the opposed command test, I imagine. And if fails, he is forced to retreat back to his boarding craft, unsuccessful in causing mayhem. So basically, challenging pilot test, modified by the turrets on the enemy ship. If successful,
What is the turret rating on the Orky Raider?
you haven't done an augury test scan thingy, so I'm not inclined.
Yes, but
to
you need to know that for us to make the roll.
I know that and I will tell you what that is when the time comes. Are you making that roll?
I would assume that that's the roll we're making.
Well, let me ask this: are you committing to rating?
Yes, the
Okay.
The Paralos is sending over a raiding crew.
Page 220. Let me see what this turret rating says. Let's see. For each point of a starship's turret rating, the ship imposes a -10 penalty on the piloting tests of any hit-and-run attacks directed against it. Okay. So you have a 30, because it's the Paralos doing it, so you're going to be rolling against a 20.
Okay.
Sounds like we're getting ready to make that roll. Yes, we are. 17. Success. Okay, now, ordinary, which is a +10 command test between the 2 different commanders. So you make your roll. Command, I believe, so 30 plus 40. Or, sorry, 30 plus 10 is 40. Go ahead and make your roll. That is a 10. That's impressive. Now me. You win on majority of, you got more degrees of success.
Okay.
So now you roll 1d5 twice on the critical hits chart. And choose one of them. So 5, which is starting a bunch of fires. Or a 4, thrusters damaged. Would you like to start a fire? Or would you like to damage the thrusters?
I think damaging the thrusters so we can stay out of its prow guns is what I would like to do. Does anybody else have an objection to that?
Not at all.
Okay.
Seems fine to me.
The ship's maneuvering thrusters are smashed, venting randomly and leaking fuel. Roll 1d10, please.
Watch me get a 1 now.
It wouldn't matter.
3.
Let's see. On a 1 through 7, the ship can still maneuver, albeit slowly. Reduce the ship's maneuverability bonus by 20. And that is it. So the ship's maneuverability bonus is reduced by 20. Let me see what that means here. Oh my. Okay. All right.
So now what? They have a negative?
Actually, yes. So if they try any sort of maneuverability rolls, there's now a -5 penalty instead of the +15 that they should have had. So you have done something to them in that regard. I believe the next action here is to complete movement.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, so I believe you have a turn and then scooting forward some. Oh no, have you? You already turned. haven't
No,
you?
I haven't turned yet.
Okay,
Oh.
I apologize.
I don't think.
I don't think you did
No,
either.
no,
actually.
you're on the same heading.
So there, and then turn to be in line with.
And I believe that is everything for the Paralos, which
The
means it's
Acheron
now turn
Ferry.
for Orc number 1, who is not in the best position, to be honest. They are going to do. Actually, that's not. Okay.
Hey Omar,
Yeah,
you remember who loses all the time against me in BattleTech?
I don't know what you're talking about right now. This is in BattleTech. This is Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, but I'm the one controlling the
Yeah,
movement
I'm
of the ship.
the one controlling the ship. Yeah, shut up. That that might have been super snarky, and I apologize if it was a little bit much.
Nah.
All right, I am also going to do as a maneuver action, adjust speed. So this will be piloting plus maneuverability. Their maneuverability. I think I just said this, but yep, that. So it's actually going to be. What I've been doing. This.
Is it a 15, Omar?
I don't know what you're talking about. Stop throwing numbers at me while I'm trying to do math, by the way.
27, 85, 13.
Well, that didn't work, so they don't get any additional thingies. So, with that, they are stuck with their movement range, which is... Oh my god. Are you shitting me? I've been fucking up their movement this whole time because I thought I had a different number. Okay, well, that'll get fixed. These things are fucking slow.
You know, every time Rev starts shouting out numbers, you should just add that to their health pool.
Do the orcs help?
What
I was like, I thought I
size
could
of
only make
ship
about a.
are those?
They're raiders. They are onslaught raiders.
And it can make a-
Doesn't that mean they can only do 45-degree turns?
Raiders, frigates and smaller are 90 degrees.
Okay, so it's just not to scale.
Yeah, the scale's not very good. The model I borrowed or took this from, I scaled it up a bit to make it roughly the same size as yours, and then I boosted it even more to show off some of the art.
All right, so we're fighting raiders, and I thought we were fighting frigates.
No, these are raiders. Let's do this.
No, it's fine.
They're slightly smaller now. This onslaught raider, however, it's still. You know what? Nope, I was right. Still gonna do that. I think that's still within the 90 that he had.
Yeah. Yeah, if 105 is the same as 90.
Okay, well, he was like,
He was pointed more than the other ship was.
you're
Yeah,
right. He
towards
was
the northern
pointing kind of like that. So that
Yeah.
means 90 is going to be about there. Yeah, right there. Unfortunately, I think that is not enough for the prow. So that is the dorsal, and that will be at a -10. I'm hitting on 20s. Except I have not done an extended action. I did attempt a maneuver action. It didn't work. Let's see.
Go ahead, cripple your engines.
No. No. So that would be that plus that.
Orks would do it. Orks would be like, oh,
Okay.
Orcs go, war.
That is a fail, so that doesn't do me any good. So now I just need to hit on a 20. Firing on the Paralos. That is 1 degree of success, so that's 2 hits. Correction. I forgot one step. Give me 1 second.
I thought 1 degree of success was 1 hit.
1 degree of success. You know what? It doesn't matter because it is only going to be a single hit that the shields eat, so never mind. That's it for the peril. Not for the perils. The orc number 2. I think we could squeeze in a final round of combat for the night. I shouldn't say
Okay.
final, an additional round of combat, so it is back to the ferry.
Alterios, what's it like just listening to us and doing homework?
Why isn't Alturios doing anything?
Oh.
I wanted him to, and he's like, no, I don't want to control the other ship.
Because homework.
Yeah, because homework. And every now and again, he makes a cameo appearance to make a measurement or a combat roll.
Fine.
So Alturios, you want to do a what's it called?
If we boost the engines, we're going to have ship separation. That's all I'm saying. Up to you.
Well, how much does it boost?
Depends on success.
Every degree of success.
That's for the maneuver action one, right? Or is it for the flank speed extended
Good
action?
Flank speed.
Every degree of success allows an additional unit. Correct.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
I know. Me too. Sorry. And then adjusting speed is 1 degree for every degree of success. Also.
I feel like Omar's over there trying to pull a "Don't believe your lying eyes."
No, I tend to listen. When it comes to the rules, if I don't know it off the top of my head, I typically want to see it. I believe what you
I
may
know,
tell me.
I'm giving you a hard time.
Well, stop it! Damn it! I'm killing my
No.
orcs over here, and I don't like it. I'm kidding. Actually, I'm totally amused by you guys killing my orcs. Just trying to take some of you with me.
Orc death.
So how do you want to handle the maneuver and fire this round for the Acheron's ferry?
I don't think we really need any more speed. We just
Yeah,
get behind them.
I think we fire from here and stay in the rear arcs.
Yeah,
Because
pretty much.
This is about as close as we're
Well,
going to
we
get on
can
this round
we
of
can
maneuver.
no. We can move half speed, turn, move half speed into their rear arc, and then fire.
But would that put us closer or further away? Because as of now, we have no penalties. Are you? And if we get in the rear arc of orc number 2, we're going to be where orc number 1 can turn and bring its prow guns on us. So we want to pull further out than in, I would think.
So this would put us here facing this way. And that would be right at the edge of 9.
But where are we at now is what I'm saying. Why can't we just fire then figure our maneuvering out?
That's a
Aren't
good
we
question.
closer now?
Right
You are closer
now,
now.
we
8.5.
are at 8.5. So yeah, it would be
I would say-
better to fire now.
Yeah, I would definitely say fire now.
At under 9, we're getting a +10, right?
Under 4.5.
No, 0.
Oh, under 4.5. Okay.
Under
Well,
9
so-
is +0 instead
Okay.
of -10.
All right. Well, that's fine. Warner, as far as the shooting goes, would you like the +10 on you or on the Perilous?
Well, +10 on me.
We'll probably finish off that ship. If you
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's
All right.
probably wise.
So I'll go ahead and do the scanner.
are you doing
it's
target
under-
lock on?
Yep.
Whatever. Rolling a
And it's-
6.
Ooh,
So that's plus
nice.
5. What was your target? It was like 51 or something, wasn't it?
Yes, 51.
So that's 5 degrees of success. That's going to be +3. So plus 20. And then plus
So plus-
30 with your.
Okay. I'm gonna save the +10 for the other ship because I
Okay.
think the +20 will put you in Cherry.
So that's plus 20 for Warner's ballistic. And you've
Yeah.
got 2 shots. Or 2
Most
attack.
excellent.
Warner is plus 20 enough, or do you want me to up it more?
Plus
Why
20
is it only
is
plus
good
20?
enough for the moment.
It's plus
Why
20.
is it only plus 20?
It's plus 20 from his lock on, and he moved the plus 10 to the Paralos.
All right, and that means
Okay.
technically a plus 25 because of my Master of
Correct.
Ordnance perk.
What's that put you at?
I thought,
Oh, sorry, Darius, what were you saying?
okay, he got 5 degrees of success, right?
Yes. But it's plus 5 for every 2 degrees of success.
Oh, 2 degrees.
Yes.
Okay. So that's,
So I'm giving him plus 3 for simple math. If
Yeah,
I'm wrong,
got it.
let me know.
no, you got it.
So
Actually, no. If it's 5... Oh, yeah. So 5 plus 15 is plus 20. Sorry, go ahead.
so
plus
I'm at
25.
94 or less.
How many? 94?
Yes.
Jesus Christ. All right, make your attack.
First attack.
7 degrees of success, so that's going to be 4 hits. And a critical.
Next attack.
That's 6, so another 4 degrees. So 8 hits total. And
none
1
negated?
critical.
Are you combining your shots?
I'm
You didn't.
going
You
to
didn't
combine.
say it yet. Is that 2 separate criticals or one?
I'm going to combine.
Aw.
Going to combine.
Okay.
Why are you He has no void shields. Why are you combining anyway?
Yeah, that is correct. Well, that just means all of them are going to hit instead of minus 1. So that's, what is it? It's 1d10 plus 2.
2.
So 40 plus...
You can just do
16?
You can just do 8 times
Yep.
2, and so it's 58.
Okay, yeah, 58. I think what really just happens is there's just nothing but a barrage, a cloud of steel shells. Oh no, you have lasers. It is a laser disco show as seen through the eyes of somebody tripping on 7 different types of hallucinogenic drugs. And it just...
And we get the fireworks now.
And you get the fireworks now as that ship is completely destroyed and just crumples. And somewhere along the way, you hit something really juicy because there's a super bright flash.
Okay, so
And the orcs and the remaining ships say, "Would you look at that, Daka?"
You done, bud?
And Reinhardt's like, "That's what you get. That's what you get."
unfortunately, that means that the Paralos is back down to rolling at a 40.
Warner, you forgot the accent.
That's what you get.
Das ist what you get.
Okay. I believe technically Orc ship number 2 gets a chance to do something before it dies, but I'm gonna just, for time's sake, be like, no, it's dead. It dead.
It at one point was a ship.
It was a ship. It is now a quickly expanding cloud of debris.
Well, okay, what would it have done? It had limited maneuverability, and the only weapon it could have shot at us was crippled.
It's not important right now. I believe it is now.
Holy crap! It's a crapple.
It is now Perilous' turn to do something.
It is.
Well,
you
also
need to
get
finish the
move.
maneuver.
Oh,
first.
I apologize. I forgot about that. That seems like a bit more than 90 degrees. There you go.
And then the Paralos.
I would say for the second ship should maneuver and then fire. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you could probably close that distance if you do it smartly. I think. You're at 12 something right now.
Just try to get past the 90-degree turn for that sucker, if you can.
And then 90 degrees. We'll put them parallel. And 4.5. We'll catch him up.
Oh,
And yes, it is
I got-
closer, but not close enough.
yeah, it is closer, but not enough to get dropped to -10. So
Well, I gave it the +10, so it's still rolling at a 40 with no bonuses from this game.
40 or 30.
It would be 30, but I gave
Oh.
it my +10 command.
Yep. Well, it would be but it's also -10 because it's beyond
Okay.
the 9 inches. So 30 plus 10 -10. Did I forget another modifier?
No.
There we go.
Hey, so that's 3 hits. First one is eaten by the shields, so go ahead and roll.
3d.
Well, roll 3 and then reduce.
Mhm.
We'll take out the 1. What was that? 2 plus 2 is 4. 10. And another 4. So 14 damage, and you see the void shields flicker, but then the armor eats what's left. You do not appear to have done any damages to that vessel. We can delete that as well. Any extended actions or things of that nature for the Paralos? Are you good with?
I think that's the end of that turn.
Okay. In that case, it is the Orks ship's turn. They are going to. That fucking 5 inches is bullshit. There. And they can. There. And that does look like prow range fan for the Paralos. With a -10. Motherfucker. Okay. In that case.
So 20 needs to hit again?
Well, I'm going to attempt the target lock on again.
Ah,
So that's going to be scrutiny plus detection, if I'm not mistaken.
yep.
Yep.
Which you said was 10.
Yes, their detection is 10, so I need 40.
Mm-hmm.
20, so that's 1 plus 1 for every 2, so plus 10 total. So that will actually take it back up to 30 to hit.
That's only 1 degree of success.
It was against a 40 with 2 degrees.
Yes, 40.
Yes.
Not 44.
Yes, I hear you. But 4
1 degree
minus
of
2.
success.
Am I crazy? Have I been doing my degrees wrong this whole time? It's okay to say I have been.
I might be misunderstanding how degrees work.
That's what I'm saying.
but
Like, I may be wrong too. Warner, I'm going to ask you. Target
Okay.
number is a 40, but I rolled a 24. Is that 1 degree or 2 degrees of success?
Let's see.
Because I may have been doing it entirely wrong for a
24.
while.
Is it based on the
40.
tens place or is it based on the whole number?
Is it rounded or direct?
I think it's based on the whole number.
Okay, now I have to go and look in the damn rule. Let me see how skills are resolved.
I do
Fuck
think it's
me.
based on the whole number and not the tens place.
Let's see. Skills, gaining, skill, descriptors, groups, descriptions. Or is it under playing the game? Let's see. Tests. 230. Alright, skill tests. Let's see. Characteristics. Degrees of success. For each.
Full 10 points.
Yeah. It threw me off a little bit because it said characteristics, so I wanted to make sure I was reading it right. But yeah, no, for each full 10. Let's see. Yeah, alright, fine. It's still it's plus 10. Because it's plus 5
No,
for.
that'd be plus 5.
It's plus 5 for the success, plus 1 degree of success.
Is not
No,
2 degrees.
you're right. It's not 2 degrees. I got you. Okay. God damn it. I'm rolling on a 25 instead of a 20 at this point, so. But I do get to
Yeah.
roll 3 times.
Yep.
So 25s. That is 1 hit.
Oof.
That is 1 hit only. And then the last one I need to roll this first for some reason. Okay. Let's see. Yep. That is a critical hit. No, I'm just kidding. It's a 25
No.
out of 25. So that is 2 hits. I'm gonna roll 1d10. What is it? What did my notes say?
Twice.
That one is that
Well, what
one.
was the 7?
Sorry.
What was the 7 for?
Oh, that
What
was one of the weapons. I have to roll 1d5 to see what its strength is because it's Orky tech.
Oh.
Oh.
And so that
Orky
last
tech.
weapon I rolled had a strength of 4 on it. Let me see. What was I doing? Okay, so first one is 1d10 plus 2. So that's a 9. Second hit is 1d10 plus 4, so 9, and as it turns out,
7.
9.
Oh, plus 4.
So
Okay.
you take the shield eats 1 9-point cluster of damage, and then what's the armor for the Paralos? I think it's bigger than 9. Yep, my damage does negligible damage. And that will do it for
Our
Armor is 19.
yeah. So it eats the damage and says, "Give me more." And that will
One
do
more round. One more round.
It's getting. You know what? We won, but this will be the last one, and I've not been counting all of the rounds apparently. So this is actually like round 5, I believe. And that goes up there. Okay. All right, Fairy, you're up.
Okay.
Do you want me to go ahead and get my scan out of the way while you're figuring that?
Yeah, sure.
Are you doing a target lock on?
I'm going to do a speed boost.
Adjusting speed? Is that what you're doing? Just so I
Yeah.
get the right terms.
Yeah.
I've only
Okay.
spent one of my fate points, so I'm going to re-roll that.
All right. I think you just barely missed it there too. Am I right? Yeah, you needed a 51, I think.
missed. Yeah.
There it is. Adjust speed.
No scan bonus this time. Warner, since there's no scan bonus, do you want the plus 10 or do you want me to pass it on to the Paralos?
Pass it on to the Paralos.
All right, adjust speed is piloting plus maneuverability.
Yep. Maneuverability is 23, right?
Yes, that sounds right.
And my piloting has a bonus. I haven't bought the 20 yet. Okay. Well, it's plus 10 at least. So 23, 33, and then agility is 55 plus 33 is 88. I think. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so 88, and every degree of success, I get an additional VU.
Yeah,
On a
up to the
success, okay, so on a success, I get 1. For every degree of success, I get an additional 1.
up to double your speed. So up to 18.
Up to double. Yeah.
What is that?
Damn.
So plus 1.
Yep, just plus 1. So I get to move 10.
Okay. So 5 and then whatever, and then 5 more.
Yep. Does that look like a good angle, Captain?
It's about as good as we're going to get. They're probably going to get a prow shot off on us, but such is life.
All right. Because that'll put us here.
Yeah, we have turn advantage at this point. Where we have action economy is what I mean in our
Yeah.
favor at this point.
That we do. Were we closer before?
Might have been.
Can we assume? Yes, we were closer before. Can we say that we fired before we moved, based rather than try to move it all back?
Sure.
No, we were not closer before. We're actually closer now.
Okay.
Still at the -10, just tiny
Yeah,
bit barely,
barely.
though. But yeah.
But hey, that means that they have to move before they shoot.
Sure. You don't want the +10, Warner, because I haven't officially given it yet.
I'm pretty sure I'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. I believe we are making some attack rolls.
Indeed, Lise.
All right.
No bonuses from me on either the scan or my command roll, Warner. Sorry.
It's all right. So I am at a mere 69 or better. And we roll the first one.
Is anybody else feeling like a
that's
lot of frame rate lag when the dice roll?
I haven't noticed any, but the ping has been
Hey,
fluctuating.
look at that.
So
Woo!
your target numbers were what? 69?
69.
Nice.
That's-
So it's 4 degrees of success and then 6 degrees of
degrees
success. So again, 8 hits.
8 hits.
Yep. Go
You
ahead and
wanna
make
do-
your. Go ahead.
Are you doing double criticals then, Warner?
Yeah, this time I think 2 crits, so I won't roll them all as the same.
Okay.
I'll
So
roll the
if
4
I
and then
recall,
4.
before we go too much further, I want to make sure I get the process right, because you fired two different weapons attacks. Well, no, because it still eats only one shot group is eaten by the shield. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
But they get the hull against both as opposed
As opposed to a larger
just
number
one.
against. Yeah. Okay. All right. Go ahead and go ahead and
So I'm
make
gonna roll
your
4 and then I'm gonna roll 4.
and it's 1d10 plus 2 each, right? Correct. So
Yes.
Ooh, there's a 10 and 8.
we have 6, we have
27
7,
plus
we
8 is
have
35.
10, and
Yeah,
we
we can't do
have
+8 'cause one of
12.
them's get negated.
The 6, I'm assuming you're going to negate?
Yep, the 6 will be negated.
Or do you want to wait and see what your second set of 4 is and then
That's
choose?
true. Let's see what the second set does.
Okay.
Whee!
Alright. A 3, 6,
Yes, I think the 3 will be the
7,
one that gets negated.
and 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 3 will get negated. Alright, so for our first group, we have 13, 23, 33, 30.
27 plus 8 is back, so it's back to the 35.
35.
35 total there. And then the second group, we have 13 and 8, which is 21 total. Alright. Let's see. What was the
No,
armor?
not 13 and 8, 13 and 6.
Yeah, 13 and 6, to be fair.
Was that to me or was that you guys?
That was to you.
Yeah,
And there was
Thir-
15.
no, 13.
15 plus 6. Why 13?
4 plus
Because
5
the
plus 6.
1 plus 2 is 3. So 16 minus
That's the
3
one that one got, yeah.
negated by the
Look
shield.
look at the note card. Look at the note
Gotcha.
card. What you guys are talking about is exactly what I just did.
So it's
Okay.
16 minus 1.
As long as all the numbers,
So I'm looking
as
at
long-
a total damage of one is 35 and the
No,
other one
it's
is 20.
16 minus 3.
No, it's not.
stop.
That's not the way the math works.
Okay. I'm looking at 35 damage and 21 damage.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
I want to make sure I'm not losing my shit here.
Yes,
Except
21.
I have to also account
I double
for...
checked the math. It's 21 for the second salvo.
So that is 17, and then this is going to be that. That means all of this
Because
becomes
it would have been 16 plus 8. But it's not. It's 15 plus
20
6.
damage applied, and then
Okay.
we have 2 criticals to roll. So go ahead and make your. Let's see, where's that? Right there. All right, 1d5 once.
Okay. So that's
2.
2.
Which is internal damage. The force of the hit ruptures bulkheads and smashes machinery. Attacker selects one component, only choosing one that he knows of, that is not the bridge or warp plasma, and that component is damaged.
Well, I
Shields?
think the shields
shields-
make what sense? Yeah.
I was gonna say shields, dorsal, or
Yeah.
prow.
Yep.
Okay, shields are damaged. I'll look that
The
up in a
prow
moment.
guns, by the way, are scary.
And then your
But
second...
they have to be facing us for the prow guns to work.
This is true, and you guys are in a position where you can just simply keep circling the damn thing, more or less. And then your second 1d5 is
They
choose
won.
your location to be depressurized, and orcs sucked into the void of the locations that you know of course.
Let's go with the dorsal.
Dorsal. Okay.
Void orcs.
Void orcs. Nice. All right.
They are now.
Yep. All right. And then what else would you like to do? Or is that it for the
Hey,
Acheron's
hey, Grok.
Ferry?
Is it just me, or is it hard to breathe out here?
Why do I not hear sounds? Well, I didn't do it in the proper accent, but you get the idea.
You say something, Zug? I can't hear you.
Yeah.
So, as I recall, orc number 1 is last in the turn order.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you manage to destroy it before it acts, it will be out. It will not act.
Okay. Well, I'm rolling 2 rolls at 40.
Hold on. Let me see if I can get us closer first.
I don't think you can. We're under 9.
Drive me closer. I want to hit it with my
I'm
sword.
coming up with
We
9.3
are at
right now.
9.3 right now.
Yeah, that's what
And
I'm
if I move first, we are at 7.5.
Okay, then move.
like a rip's like, all right, fine. Your math is better than mine. Clearly.
Well, I measured a second ago and I got like under 9 when I measured, so it's not worth
Yeah.
whatever cat fight would ensue over.
Yeah, 7.2 now.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so now you have 30. And I
I
believe you
have
gave him a
40.
plus 10 for 40.
Mhm. And no negatives. So rolling for 40s. I feel weird rolling with a ruler out. Hold on. Let's see.
It does feel weird, doesn't it?
You know, you can leave it on the pointer and just use the tab key to switch to the ruler.
I know. I have a
Okay.
reroll. I have 1 reroll left for the night.
All right, go ahead and make it if you're going to.
And technically this is the other ship, so other people can throw in rerolls. It still fails, but up for my second roll.
Yep, second roll, or second attack rather, is a hit with 3 degrees of success, so that's 4 hits.
Nice.
Okay. And we're
No.
ruling the void shield, still get to absorb 1, yeah?
Correct. So 4 damage rolls. So that's 3, 7, 7, and 5.
19.
5, 7, 14, 19, and 1 point of damage goes through
With a critical.
with the critical. Go ahead and roll your 1d5. Is that a 1? Yeah, choose it. What gets depressurized again? We've got
the
shields damaged and dorsal depressurized.
The engines.
You cannot choose the engines.
I thought anything but the bridge. Oh, and the plasma drives.
Yep.
Sorry. Okay. Prow gun number 1.
Okay.
Actually, can we choose just for next session? Is the boarding bay like where they would launch troops from? Is that an option to disable their ability to launch boarding actions?
I'm gonna rule it out only because they haven't actually done that, and you haven't boarded
Fair.
them either.
But they've shot their prow guns, so
Yes.
Does one of them, when they fired it, did they seem the same, or did one seem nastier than the other?
Maybe one was dirtier than the other.
Did one seem larger or more dangerous than the other when they were fired?
No, the prow guns appear to be roughly the same as far
Okay.
as damage
So
capability.
they have one prow gun left.
Okay. So -1 prow gun. Let me rewrite that. 1 prow gun
Depressurized.
depressurized. Because if I come back next week and be like, oh, I have a -1 penalty to my rolls. Okay.
No.
Yeah, no, that's why I needed to change that. All right, so Orc 1, we have some damage. We have
More
21
void orcs.
Yeah, more void
Yeah.
orcs, but the orc ship does get a chance to act,
And
Yeah.
and that means I am going to do. I had it a moment ago. What the hell was it? Oh, it was. Let's see. Nope, that's not the one. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, yes. Challenging tech use test to get
Can
additional
orcs
movement.
even do that?
It doesn't sound like a tech use. It's more of a make the ships burn engines hotter because they are attempting to do flank speed.
Yeah.
That would be a
Which means
30.
they could cripple their engines.
They could cripple their engines. I need a 30. I got 2 degrees of success of failure.
That's a crippled engine, isn't it?
So failure by 2 or more degrees means the ship immediately suffers an engine's crippled critical hit as the engines are strained too hard. So let's go see what that means. Let's see. What does that spell out specifically? Let's see. Engines crippled. Something pierces the immense drive tubes in the ship's stern. You see bleeding plasma into the void and leaving the vessel drifting in space. One of y'all please roll a 1d10 for me.
Got it.
Alterios, please.
Oh, wait.
Get a roll
yeah.
in for the night, man.
Yeah.
I think he made a roll
Roll-
earlier.
Alterios, roll a d10. Hit me up with that big d10.
That's 2.
Okay, let's see. The plasma drives are still usable, though heavily damaged. Reduce the ship's speed by 1/2. So we just went from 5 inches to
2.5.
2.5 inches. 2.5 inches of movement. Engines crippled. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Let me do this. I'm gonna do even and odds. I'm not gonna tell you what is what, but I'm just gonna say even odds. This ship starts to attempt to limp away. It's bleeding plasma into the void. Whatever you did, you're not sure what you did to cause that. It starts bleeding plasma, with a bright flash at the engines, and then all of a sudden, 5 or 10 minutes later, maybe as you're finishing up some of your maneuvering, the ship just spontaneously explodes into trillions of tiny little pieces and dead orcs.
All the little pieces.
Yep. You have defeated.
Dead orcs. Dead orcs.
You have defeated orcs in space.
Der Orks sind tot! Ja!
And now
Jawohl!
you may take, 250 points of experience.
Well, yeah.
Yay.
And that includes my new Seneschal, who hasn't even had a chance to be introduced on screen yet. But he also gets 250 experience points because he was there in the battle.
Woot.
I don't care what you say. He was there. He just didn't get a chance to do anything.
He was in the battle.
Let's do some outro-y stuff, starting with Alturios, who has been outro-y all night. I'm sorry, I'm just making a stupid joke. I'm not trying to pick on you.
Hell yeah, space combat.
Hell yeah, space combat, where I did nothing but homework.
I mean, I had a bunch of crap to do. So
That's fair.
it
That's
worked
fair,
out.
brother.
But
Well,
yeah.
thank you for showing up so that we could game anyway.
Yeah, I feel like he took one for the team and his homework.
hey, I had a nice picture of orcs going "Wah, wah," as they were in space. So
That is a great visual to have in your head. I'm picturing the orcs pinwheeling through space, a la
Yeah.
like memes and shit, and they're just going, "Whoa!" but you can't hear them because it's space.
It's space.
Look. It's just some freeze-dried fungus.
That's really what it boils down to.
Look,
no
if they
pun.
believe hard enough, they can breathe in that shit.
Look,
Yeah,
boils
that's-
down is a poor choice of words
Yeah.
considering how things are right now.
I believe, I'm not 100% sure this is how this works, but when you reduce pressure, everything boils.
Yes, because
So-
it wants to be a vapor.
Suddenly, orcs want to be a
whatever
vapor.
whatever fluid they have in their bodies boils.
Yeah. Now, I don't think it happens right away because things inside the body are still pressurized for a little while.
Your skin actually does a pretty good job. It's
Yeah,
just
it does.
it-
It actually does.
you
you
do
won't.
start to swell.
Yeah, you
Well,
also
they-
won't
okay.
freeze right away either,
No.
because
They-
ironically enough, the heat kind of floats with you, because heat doesn't dissipate very well in a vacuum.
No, it does not.
Rev, you're trying to say something, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say with all the slobber and spit and orifices, they're gonna have some boiling going on at those areas.
There will be some, yes. Imagine your eyeballs would start boiling relatively quick.
Hmm.
Saliva in your mouth, perhaps.
The worst part is the air getting forcibly sucked from your lungs because of the pressure difference.
Oh yeah, that whole there's a term for it. I can't think of what it is. It's like equalization of the pressure because
Yeah.
I wonder what the air getting sucked from your intestines would feel like.
not pleasant, I'm sure.
Because that would happen. That would happen too.
I would imagine, yes. It would take some time for it to gurgle its way up. I feel like you'd probably be burping for a while. Although it wouldn't it would feel like a burp, it just wouldn't
other
sound
direction
like
of your intestines. my
That's
friend.
also well, no, because that's got a muscle that would stay closed until the body releases it.
One long silent fart.
Or burp, as the case may be.
Uh,
You got anything else, Alterios?
We're
I see-
mature here. We're mature.
Yeah, we're super mature, obviously.
Funny
Well,
fart.
Let's assume that everything's not as sphincterally tight as it could be, and that the orc gets the air sucked out of its posterior. Does it rocket through space?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, technically,
Yes,
because it's
because that's
it's-
how momentum works. Not
I know.
momentum, but impulse. So I think it would change his velocity to some degree.
butt rockets.
All right, I'm moving on. Warner, what do you got for us, brother?
I had fun.
Good.
I blew up orcs in
But-
space.
but rocket sounds like such a shitty situation.
It does. It yes.
I
Crappy
really
way to
thought
go.
we had
The
some
butt up
maturity at this
tish.
table. But...
Going hard. But yes, had a lot of fun. Blew up orcs in space. How much
It's
more
a-
fun can you have blowing up orcs in space?
It's a
lot of fun.
flatulence trajectory.
Oh my god. All right. Darius, help us out, man. Bring us back to some semblance of, responsibility and maturity.
I greatly appreciated the session. It was fun. Void orcs
Void orcs.
are the best orcs.
Void orcs are
Yes.
the best orcs. I feel like
Agreed.
dead orcs might be slightly better, but only by a slim margin.
No, void orcs are better than dead orcs because they will be dead soon enough.
Yeah. There's that.
Because you
Un-
can watch them die.
Yeah.
Several more millennia pass in the galaxy, and somewhere orc bits rain down on some planet and restart the orc race.
Oh God.
I feel like it would be more than just millennia. It would be thousands of millennia. I don't know. And that's all right. That's a rabbit hole for a thought.
Maybe like
exercise.
40K.
Might take a lot longer than that, to be honest, but let's not get into all that. Rev, what do you got for us?
Now I'm worried that there could be frozen orc chunks out there somewhere in the real life, and they slam down on Earth, and suddenly we have orcs in a decade.
My first thought would be, wouldn't they just burn up in re-entry?
Fungi have an interesting ability to sort of go dormant.
Yes.
The outside would burn up, and the center might survive.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Could end up with enough spores making it to the surface. All right, that's it. We're out of here.
It only takes one.
I mean, yeah.
At least give it a sporting chance.
Okay, yep, we're definitely done now. That's all we have for us tonight. I need to end it now before the more retarded
Hey, what can you say? I'm a fun
things
guy.
come out. Yep, there it is, right there. It begins. Stay safe out there, my friends. This world is a grim, dark world, so make sure you're doing what you got to do to avoid all of the orc spores raining down on you from the cosmos. We're out of here. I'm not even gonna finish my thing. I'm just gonna end it. Have a great time zone, whatever it is, wherever it is you are.